I done wrong, left your heart torn. Is that what devils do? Took you so long, where only fools go. I shook the angel and you. Now I'm rising from the crowd, rising up to you. Filled with all the strength I found, there's nothing I can't do. I need to know now, can you love me again? I need to know now, can you love me again? I need to know now.
My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. Talk to me, I need to hear you need me like I need you. Fall for me, I wanna know you feel how I feel for you, love. Before you, baby, Daddy's money with an attitude. Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. Goddamn, Roxanne, never gonna love me, but it's alright. She think I'm an asshole, she think I'm a player. She keep running back though, only cause I pay her. Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. She from Malibu. If you ain't got a foreign, then she laugh at you. Malibu, spending daddy's money with an attitude. She from Malibu. If you ain't got a foreign, then she laugh at you. Malibu, spending daddy's money with an attitude. If you ain't got a foreign, then she laugh at you. Spending daddy's money with an attitude.
Want to love and want to lose. Sweet divine, the heavy truth. What do I want? Don't make me choose. I wanna feel the way that we did that summer night. Drunk on a feeling alone with the stars in the sky. I've been running through the jungle. I've been running with the wolves to get to you. To you, I've been down the darkest alleys on the dark side of the moon to get to you, I put the love in every stranger, took too much easy, all for you, yeah, all for you. I've been running through the jungle, I've been crying with the wolves to get to you, to get to you, to get to you.
I can't get no sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse, ha, you can whip your Porsche. I've been in the valley, you ain't been up off that porch now. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Show me a piece of your heart. I'm calling you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down. Show me a piece of your heart, a piece of your love. I'm calling you up to getting down, down, down. The way that we touch is never enough. I'm turning you up to getting down, down, down.
What? Sorry, just quickly. What if it's
Da da da, da da da, down, 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 down.
The Esports Celebrity Challenge is officially sponsored by JBL. Step up your game with the Quantum 800 headset. HyperX, we're all gamers. Lucid Sound, engineered to win. And MetaThreads, your lifestyle gaming apparel partner. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Esports Celebrity Challenge presented by the NFL Alumni and ESTV, sponsored by JBL. We have an amazing show planned for you today, but first, allow me to introduce Trevor McNeil, my co-host today. Trevor, how are you doing?
I am doing very well. Fantastic. I'm so excited for this. I love Call of Duty. I love Warzone. I love the NFL. I love football. I mean, I love everything about what's going on here, and I'm so excited for this event.
It's going to be so much fun. Of course, the Esports Celebrity Challenge, we have players and celebrities from all over, not just the NFL alumni, coming together today to just kick back, have some fun, play some Warzone, and raise some money for COVID-19 relief. Trevor, what exactly are we looking at today for this event?
I mean, you pretty much dropped everyone that's participating in this. The NFL Alumni and ESTV have teamed up with JBL to create this Esports Celebrity Challenge to help us raise money for those that are impacted by coronavirus, as we have all been in 2020. And with guest appearances in the tournament, we got Rashad Jennings, Paul George, Aerial Powers, all fighting out here in Call of Duty Warzone. And I'm so excited to see who's going to show up because of the fact that we got some pretty hefty esports personalities in this one, even outside of their athletic world. And we are live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and more. And we'd like to welcome you, all the fans, to this broadcast.
So much for being a part of the NFL Alumni Esports experience today. We aren't only gaming, but we are raising money to make a difference. As we said, a lot of people have been impacted during COVID-19, and when a teammate falls, you help them stand back on their feet. Please help us out. Follow on social media at NFL Alumni to see how you can help donate and raise more money so that we can help everyone who's struggling right now in this difficult time.
Yeah, 2020, it's a weird year. Everything that's going on is super out of whack, but I'm excited that we're able to put on events like this. I mean, there's so many things happening that are like this, that are fundraising for helping out those that are impacted by coronavirus. And the fact that we're able to get together such a great list of people to help participate, as well as those people watching that are going to be able to help out and donate funds for this. It's just such a really cool thing that's going on. And it's not just this event. There's a lot of events going on that help support this cause.
You're not kidding, and we have some special names joining us today. We're going to have interviews with Amon Green and Brett Phillips coming up later on in the show. But first, Trevor, let's get to the gaming now. It's about time. We got to talk about what exactly is going to be going on here today, and let's start with the scoring system for this Warzone tournament. So, of course, you're going to look at your top team from each round. Every time you get placement points, of course, your team is going to go in. If you can be the first, if you can get the victory, you're going to get 10 placement points. Top 3 is going to net you 7, top 8, 5, and top 13, 3. Tiebreakers are going to go by total wins and then total eliminations. You're also going to get, of course, 1 point per elimination that you get. All teams are going to play the Battle Royale game mode in quads. They're going to be teams of 4. They're going to play 2 60-minute rounds. Only a team's highest score out of each round is going to add together to create their tournament score, and the team with the highest accumulated score over both rounds will be declared the winner.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting event to see, kind of how these teams are going to adapt into this. Granted, kills matter. Just like you said, you get a point per kill, so we'll see a lot of people that are kind of bloodthirsty. They want those hot drops. They want all those kills and all those points for it. but also you'll see people that kind of played a little more passively, and they really want to get to that in-game, get those placement points secured. And then, fingers crossed, you have a team that does the best of both worlds. They get all the kills, they get the placement points, and the victories. And I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out here, especially when you have the likes of people like Trevor May, who are notorious for playing with people like Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, like around the esports personalities. So they got high expectations for people like him.
You really do, and there are a lot of great names coming out here. Guys like Paul George, Rashad Jennings, Shane Vereen. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how they can do as we get ready to jump into some gameplay here. And I am just looking forward to everything that we have on offer for this tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, especially, with how recent it's been with some of the changes here out of going in Warzone, right? I mean, there's just the one patch that came this week was the nerfing of the Snake Shot 357s, right? The Akimbo. Akimbo has never gone well in Call of Duty, ever. And we finally got this situation where they're nerfing this down, so potentially not going to see a lot of that coming out on this one. But, I mean, with like you said, we have a star-studded lineup with all these players, and from what we've seen kind of warming up into this one, the pregame lobbies, some of these players, they know what they're doing. They've been around the block a time or two, and they're not unfamiliar with Call of Duty because, I mean, we just have so much free time nowadays that what else are you going to do?
And a lot of these guys, it's not just that they're athletes. We may know them because of the sports that they play, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's all they do. We just think of them that way a lot of the time. But so many people in the world of athletics now are crossing over and starting to make more of a name for themselves in the video game and the esports community. You look at some guys like Le'Veon Bell, Juju Smith-Schuster, who have become very active. I know Le'Veon Bell just placed very well in a Smash Brothers tournament yesterday. And then you also look at some of these guys like Brett Phillips, who we're going to be talking to. He just got done playing in the MLB, the Show Players League, but he's also been in Call of Duty tournaments ever since he was a kid. And I'm very curious to see how that is going to translate now as we get ready to jump into some gameplay here. Already kicking off with round one. Again, you're going to have a full hour to try and rack up as many kills and get the highest scoring round you possibly can. Only your highest score from each round will count. So, if you have 3 games, it's not going to be any different between that and somebody who's only able to have 1 game completed. It's just taking your highest score.
Yeah, and as it plays, it's really about the length of 2 full games, right? I mean, we've seen some of our former tournaments here that HyperX has put on. It's about 25 to 30 minutes for the length of a full game. So you really have to make them count when you do get in games. You really have to understand the point of, okay, it's time for a reset. We can't do this game. We can't finish this one out because of the fact we've already used all of our gulag chances, or 3 of us are dead. We'd have to go just reset, go next. So it'll be interesting to see if these players do adapt into these strategies and realizing that, when it's time to call it quits. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them.
Kill me though. I killed his teammate, but
Exactly. That's one of the big things that you see a lot with some of the early starts. Maybe you guys got 5 kills off the drop, but then you all got sent to the gulag. Do you want to do you want to just fold your hand in, or see if you can get through with everyone surviving and then deal with the fact you're not going to have that gulag later on? It can be kind of that risk reward for how much time you want to take up, but the biggest thing is just going out. And the most important thing we've seen from all of the Warzone tournaments we've done is you have to get the kills. You have to play aggressively if you're going to win in this setting. These tournaments, it's not so much about placing first in a couple matches. It is about placing as high as you can while racking up as many kills as possible.
Yeah, and it's so important to have this, I mean, being able to rack up the kills as well, but be able to play smart, play around each other, play with your teammates as well, because it's all just so imperative on the team play itself. I mean, especially with the addition of quads coming into Warzone, it completely reverted everything that everyone had known, because everyone was used to trios, right? Then they introduced solos. And okay, well, I'm just going to play for myself. When you get quads into this one, now you kind of get this full aspect and capability of an actual full team, where you have someone with the sniper rifle, you got a couple players that are the medium range with the assault rifles, and you got the close range player with the SMG and the shotguns, or in the case of the dual wielding 357 akimbos. So it's like, you have these options to put together an actual strike team that is going to take out their opponents. But It's such a cool interaction to be able to do this and play it in an actual sense of a strategic combat.
Got him.
And if we look, we're already having a team going into some action here, and they're going to complete a bounty with that kill as well. And that is just what you want to do to start off. They're already on to their third contract, which is huge for your cash infusion because that lets you get your loadout drops, which we see they. And you're just able to do so much more when you have more cash, especially being able to buy things like UAVs. Of course, if you have 3 UAVs on your team and you pop them all at once, you get the advanced. And in kill races like this, we've seen the most important thing about that is it tells you where other players are so that you can go and hunt them down rather than avoiding them for survivability. And just knowing the exact next location that you want to go to try and rack up as many kills as possible, it just helps you out so much in that race.
Yeah, and I mean, the reversion as well. When they started out this season, and they completely dropped bounties like this. They just said, we're not going to do this anymore. It's done. And it lasted all of maybe 18 hours where they replaced it with the most wanted contract because they realized it was just not paying out. It wasn't worth it. So they brought the bounties back because that is what was really giving teams a lot of success. They were really able to find other teams, find locations of other players, get that money, get that payout, and then get their custom loadouts, especially when custom loadouts jumped up to $10,000 a piece. So it really made it worthwhile to pick up these bounties and go for this one. As you see, like they've done a couple already. Now they're in a point where, unfortunately, kind of getting caught in the gas here, where they're trying to get themselves stuck, but they've kind of Austin powered themselves here
Oh,
in the
dear.
middle of this. And yeah, they're going to have to go. I
Oh,
think
this is
he's
not
gonna get
ideal.
dropped. They got a long ways to go, too, so that might be a wipe. They might have to go ahead and call this one to go next.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the smart thing to do, even if they all had their trips to the Gulag. You've only got a handful of kills, better off resetting and starting over, but that is just bad driving. And it looks like one of them almost made it out. He was able to get the car back around, but nowhere near enough time. And the big thing about the gas in Warzone that's different from things like the Storm and the Circle and the Zone in games like Fortnite, PUBG, etc., Apex, is the Warzone gas has a constant damage rate. Now, what that means is the damage it deals in the first round of closure is the same amount of damage that it's going to deal in the final circle when it just continuously closes in. You can't survive in the storm the way that you can in some other games and just heal yourself back up. Sure, you can survive a little bit with a gas mask, but that storm closes in quickly on you and you cannot live for very long, and that's going to be a very nice Gulag kill. They're going to try and play this one out, and they're looking good. They've got at least 2 players dropping back in, it seems.
Yeah, they're coming back into this one, and they're going to be dropping around the Superstore, which is a really popular place just to start off. Just with how much loot there is there. There's also another player right in front of him you see dropping down onto the rooftop. He's going to go ahead and call a reset, go down to the ground level on this. Maybe find something here before he goes with any sort of incursion with that player on the roof. But, I mean, the fact that they're able to get 2 out of this one, they're going to have to buy 2 of them back. And like you said, though, the storm damage, the gas damage that happens it's a consistent flat rate from the beginning to the end of the game. And it really makes a huge impact on kind of the decision making, right? Because you want to get a gas mask. I mean, they're so imperative. If you're going to be one that's hugging the corner or hugging the edge and following the zone in, then you really want that gas mask because that's going to mitigate a lot of the damage that does come through. Even if it only lasts for 5 or 6 ticks of the gas, it's still so crucial for you to have and very important. And you see a lot of players, they'll go out of their way to pick up a gas mask because we can. And they do so well when they are kind of strategizing around that, because if you want to hug the corner, you're going to be able to follow people in and pick them off from the back. Granted, it's kind of frustrating from others, but it's interesting to see kind of what sort of strategies players are going to employ as they progress in. But I mean, getting 2 players back already, they have to get $9,000 to buy back the rest of their team. And we talk about the importance of having your full squad, having that full 4. That's a lot. $9,000 is a huge commitment.
I mean, the good news here is that they at least have half of that money already. They can buy back 1 player, and they have control of a loadout drop. That's going to be very big for getting that player back in and in fighting shape really quickly. They were able to drop on that loadout immediately on the respawn, grab another kill, and that's going to be big, getting at least 1 squad mate back in. That's 1 more chance to try and grab some more cash, as they're going to be in a fight with a team on a roof in a very long range engagement there. Might be a little difficult for that Grau and P90 combo that he's got running there, but he's going to try and make it up to a roof of his own to try and get a little more level clearance for the shots.
Yeah,
He's got the heartbeat. He's picking someone up, and now he knows that there's someone in that hangar bay, and he's going to think better of this and play defense on that guy because that's the more imminent threat here.
Yeah, a few pop shots won't hurt anybody. That's going to be frustrating, the fact that you missed out on that jump, but like you said, you do have a player here in the hangar going to follow this one in. You also have a couple players over here in red, but you know, like you said, with the Grau and the P90, obviously the SMG, that's going to be very close proximity, kind of the engagement you're looking for there. He is going to be able to break armor on the player in the window. That Grau does offer a lot of damage capability at medium to long range, but it doesn't have quite as much range as the M4 does. So while it still does a lot of damage, M4 a little more practical in a situation where you're at a longer range, but this is certainly well within the capabilities of a Grau. As you see, he picks up one down right there, and with extended mags too, you're going to be doing a lot of damage very quickly and holding these players down.
Yeah, and that's what you really want to be able to do. You want to keep them in a position where they're not able to move and you can take your time pushing up on them. But the big thing is you might give up too much time letting them reload their armor and get ready for the fight, but at least they've only got 2 players in once again. They're going to have to buy an armor plate bundle there. That's going to spend a lot of valuable cash that you need, especially because that cash you could have pulled together to get one of your players back, and it just hurts when you keep having guys die, and now he's going to be taking a lot of fire. Glad he bought those armor plates, sees the guy up on the roof, goes for the shot's going to do some damage, and then there it is. He's going to be running down that hallway, and oof.
Yeah, going to get dropped on that. Going to ping out for his teammate as well, you know, let him know where they're at. So if you get a chance to come pick me up, go ahead, please do. Like you said, they're down to 2 players now, looking potentially to be down to just the 1 here. Teammates coming, trying to pick him up, not enough time. His teammate's going to get taken out as well. So they do get 19th. They don't get any placement points out of that. They'll at least get a handful of points for the eliminations that they got, 1 point per. And, you know, 19th isn't a bad start. They got at least 8 or 9 kills. That's not too bad to start out with. That's a good warm-up game, and we've seen players that were doing their warm-up games. And top 20 with 8 kills, like, you're feeling pretty good. Just a couple things different in between, you know, A and B for decision-making. Maybe decide, as opposed to buying the armor plates, you just combine the money to buy your teammate back or something. Maybe with numbers advantage, that'll help out more. But we'll see how it kind of develops here as this tournament progresses, because there's so many different options and player capabilities of what they're confident in doing.
Yeah, you're going to want to change up the strategy. The good news for them is you only use 20 minutes out of that round. You've still got time to maybe you're not going to get the best start in your next game, but you're still going to have some time after that to go and really finish out for a good full round. If that had taken longer and you come in, say, 15th or 14th, where you still miss out on those placement points, maybe didn't get a few more kills, but you wasted another 10 minutes, that would have just hurt even more. But now we see, we're going to take a look in currently, and this is an interesting engagement coming in Superstore right now. They've got their loadout drops, and Brett Phillips trying to do some work here.
Yeah, a little messy of an engagement there, playing up onto the rooftops, but like you said, spectating on Brett Phillips. They already do have their loadouts. They picked that one up. Don't have a whole lot of money here, but they do have 1 player that's dropped. And they're under fire from across the way as well. Able to pick up at least the armor break on the other side. But between the likes of Brett Phillips, Trevor May, like, it's very apparent. They know what they're doing, Trevor May especially. I mean, they talk about how much experience he has playing with people that are naturally good at playing these games. I mean, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, they're notorious for esports, right? They've been around the block. They're content creators, and they've got, I don't know how many events that they've attended and gone to playing games, and Trevor May being one of their frequent customers that they bring along with them. I expect a lot out of this team.
Brett is in a trance right now. Look, you can see him at the bottom of the screen. He's trying to get the revive from a safe spot there. Trevor May was caught in a little bit of a tough spot, trying to give more ammo to his teammate there. But they've still got all 4 up. They managed to survive the engagement so far, and they're not in a terrible position. They could use more armor, though.
You're good to get your stuff.
Yeah, they certainly could use a little bit of help there. I mean, with only 5 plates between all of them, I don't know if anyone has any sitting extra in their pockets. Maybe their purple players got some, but they still have people on heartbeat, still dropping some ammo for everybody. Is apparently pretty rough. goings here. They really haven't found a lot. Surprised that they weren't able to pick any ammo up for any of the players right there at the front, but they've got someone danger close here. Brett Phillips is trying to figure out where they are. I wouldn't imagine they're either going to be somewhere inside, right around the corners, they're going to be up there on the rooftop waiting for this one, trying to get some sort of pick. And you go to the roof, I mean, Superstore, it's such a popular drop, right? I mean, there's so much loot here, there's so much to go off of. You can pick up a lot of money, and it's kind of a hot drop where you're going to pick up a lot of players as well. So you're going to be able to get money, get ammo, and then what we see a lot of the teams do from this point is they'll split up 2 by 2, and then they go to just massacre the rest of the lobby and pick up as many points for elimination as you can, and then meet up at a later time to then go for the placement with a full squad of 4 when you've already picked up 30 to 40 kills. And at that point, it's just cleanup.
Yeah, some of those teams. Some of those teams are dealing with the ability to win just incredible gunfights. They're having a little bit of trouble here, but looks like they're gonna have dropped enough cash to get their teammate back up and into the game again. They know that there's a recon device activated nearby. They're picking up a guy very close on heartbeat, but they're gonna grab all this cash first. And they're just barely gonna have enough.
He was lurking.
He's posted up with that RPG, just waiting. Saying, please, I dare you, walk outside, and I have a few words to exchange with you. Those few words are rocket-propelled grenade.
That could be a risky play, though, because when you're at full armor, that first RPG does not kill. I have learned that the hard way.
It's a little rough, but, I mean, a couple of those back-to-back, especially if you're rocking tune-up, then you have that extra capability to reload that much faster, and what you think is, okay, I'm safe, he's reloading his RPG. No, you think you're safe, you're dead.
Let's wait for Duff.
But they do, like you said, they pull together that money, they get that respawn. There is a loadout drop about 100 meters away. Yeah, so they're going to be able to get everyone back up to their full power. But with the amount of ammo that they've been sharing, obviously they are a little short on the loot, it seems like. So we'll see what adjustments they're going to have to make here, see what buildings are going to raid. Because, I mean, it's not hard to pick up ammo, to pick up loot. There's a lot of buildings around here as well. So we'll see that what direction it goes for them.
I can buy some plates. I'll go buy some.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad right now. They're going to be very happy to get their full loadouts. They're going to swap that RPG out for the second assault rifle at the moment. Maybe a smart way to do it. And now they finally are starting to get a little bit more armor. So the squad's looking a little more protected right now, and not looking bad here for the Kansas City Royals center fielder.
Yeah, not too bad. He's gonna ping out the armor for his teammates. Let him out. Gonna pick it up, bring it to them. So instead of making them go to it, it's gonna help them out. At least a little bit of cover here while they're doing it. Plus the ammo stock inside of this building is huge for them, so they're all gonna be pretty well stocked on ammo as well. Pick up the rest of the armor. And that's going to be Matt Duffy on the other side, on the receiving end of that one. And, I mean, they're pretty well enough stocked as it stands. They're doing all right to get by. They really don't have any money at all. This would be the point where you would imagine a team would pick up maybe some sort of bounty or some sort of contract to get extra loot out of that, especially if they pick up one of the, and the name of it escapes me right now, but where you open the crates, and the final one is going to give you an armor satchel.
Contract.
Yeah. And the armor satchels now are huge. Being able to carry 8 armor plates instead of the standard 5. If you get 2 or 3 players on your team with that, then you're virtually set for a lot, especially when you get to the end game where it becomes down to these firefights and your armor's going to be getting shredded very quickly because everyone's got their loadouts. Those satchels easily are worth their while.
Yeah, that's an entire 3 extra armor plates, which is a full, which is a literal full heal that you weren't able to carry before. And if you can have the time, in some of those late fights, sometimes you don't have the time to armor back up like that. But when you do, it can be absolutely huge when you're able to come into a fight that you've already been engaging with full armor when your teammates, when your opponent is going to have had maybe 1 or 2 plates left.
Yeah, and especially with how the circle is starting to form. I mean, it's going to the north side, it's going around the dam. There's also a whole lot of open area around where it's going to be going. I mean, there's just so much exposure that is going to be at risk here, depending on where we'll see the next circle going. But it's coming down. This is always a really tricky one, too, because it's either going to go around the airfield where there's just literally no cover at all, or it's going to go around the terminal where it's going to be whoever gets rooftop is going to win. or it's going to be around the dam, which at that point the high ground matters. So we all learned, if you have the high ground, don't try it, Anakin. You're always at a disadvantage.
On top of the roof, on top of
So
the roof.
it's going to be interesting to see which direction this turns out, because this could be very dicey for a handful of teams depending on which direction this circle goes.
He's gonna get him up.
Luck hitting these sniper shots right here, trying to clean up some of these kills from this engagement. He's going to see the guy down below, gonna have to reload, and he's going to move into a better position to try and get these snipes off. Gonna see if he can do that, but first he's gonna drop down into the subway terminal and climb his way back out from there, avoiding this airstrike that's coming in on their position.
Yeah, I'm going right now.
Yeah, just playing it safe, making sure. But I mean, smart enough to push this engagement. Obviously, they have them on the ropes. They've got them narrowed down into this building, which they were just at, so they have the capability to know that there's really not a whole lot in here, and it's going to be a sense of where you at.
They're not on the roof.
And they're going to be able to collectively go together. They're going to get a live ping on him as well on the second floor. They're going to get the headshot Elim. Second one going to get it down. Double kill Elim right there for Brett Phillips. But they're not going to get a team live, so they know there's another one in there. They're going to ping it out. Engaging in this firefight, and it looks like they are going to take down a third. That might be the team wipe. So now they're feeling a little bit better, plus they get 3 more points.
And a UAV.
Kills are what really matters. This is a kill marathon, not just about the placement points. And there's going to be a whole lot of loot there. So this team is going to go from being not in dire straits, I wouldn't say that, but from being not in the best loadout possible to having full ammo, a decent amount of cash. They've got a good amount, and they've got some extra goodies. They've got a couple gas masks, which we've already talked about being so important. And they had their choice of a couple extra different loadout options as they're going to armor back up to full here. And now they're going to be a force to be reckoned with again as they're going to buy up. They're probably going to buy up a UAV or some kind of kill streak here, I imagine.
Armor plate.
UAV, maybe armor plate. Yep, armor plate with the rest of the leftovers that they've got, making sure everybody's stocked up well enough. And UAV is just so important to be able to know where everybody's at. I mean, obviously they want some more money to buy a couple more UAVs. Just that information alone is so valuable. And every chance that you have to buy UAV, absolutely take that, because it's so advantageous to be able to pick that. I mean, you see, they pop UAV, now they realize, oh, there's a whole nother squad right here, right next to us. And they're just going to go ahead and push this one because they don't know they're there. They're going to get one shot off, one armor broken, look for the second armor, get it down, and that's just the information immediately paying off with buying that UAV.
Yo, he's down
This could potentially be 3 more kills as they're going to get the first one confirmed here. And it looks like this is a squad that was already down a man, so they're going to have that numbers advantage, or at least they did, until those 2 players went into the gulag. So they're getting a little worse for wear from this fight. One of them's dropping off the roof right now, but he immediately gets down. And Brett's just got to watch out because he's running out of ammo and struggling to get inside this window here. Gonna want to re-armor up, but first he's going to just try and push this fight.
Yeah, just make sure they're clear, especially you see the vehicle on the minimap as well. It's kind of pushing up before that bound. It looks like they're going to pick that one up. And they realize that there's someone going to be coming on that. He might be trying to thirst his kill, prevent them from this pickup here. But it might be too little too late. They might have the pickup already on that revive. But now they also have to be careful of the fact that there is a team directly next to them, right behind him, right here. So you'll see there's one up on the rooftop. They're going to take some pop shots of that, but now they're going to know. And with advantageous position, I mean, he had the cover, and he's going to get popped from the side. He's going to get sniped and thirsted immediately. And that's just unlucky, not being able to really focus down onto one singular fight and get yourself focused onto one enemy. And they just got taken out from there.
Go into the gulag here. He's going to be the last gasp for this team.
Voodoo, what's going on?
Here you go. He's going to push right up with the shotgun.
Oh, it's not good.
He's got the 7.25, and he's going to miss both of those.
There it is.
Second time's the charm. That's all you needed.
Yep.
And so he'll be going back in, and he could drop right back on where they were. I think the thing that bothered me the most about that, I was honestly getting anxious myself, looking at how he had 4 armor plates in his bag and simply didn't re-armor up, and that ended up being the problem. He would have had a couple extra seconds to maybe survive and turn on that snipe, but instead he's going to be back in here, and he's going to be dropping onto a good loot contract, a scavenger contract as it's officially called, and that's going to give him a chance to immediately get intel on free loot locations. Too bad it is very far away from... Oh, no, never mind. It's right below him. I was tricked by the notification for the other ping.
And that's how it usually. I mean, at Dam, you're gonna pick it up on the high level, and it's gonna redirect you down to the bottom. The problem with this is, I mean, granted, you're gonna be able to get this crate, theoretically have some good loot out of it, but they're just so far. I mean, the difference between A and B, where you're gonna pick it up, and he gets a shotgun and a gas mask. Like that's kind of the last thing that you want. I mean, you get a gas mask, which is great, but that shotgun's not. So you're hoping to get something to replace that on top of what you're going for. There's some other weapons that he's run across.
And maybe
P90.
should have picked up one of those, but there you go. P90 and an armor plate, that's going to be nice. Big issue here from him is going to be, and he's gonna run all the way to this third one now. He's just ditching the shotgun.
Yeah.
But what you'd love to pull out of one of these crates is like one of those elite MP5 builds, something like that can give you a little more range while also being still deadly in the close quarters.
Yeah, I hope that you get something to that effect, but I mean, picking up this one, he's going to get the armor satchel out of it, obviously, plus theoretically another weapon, maybe a purple, coming out of this, a stack of cash, and yeah, it does get the necrosis as well. Necrosis is a pretty decent weapon, able to hold 100 rounds, put down some good fire, but opting out of that, going to be looking at least to find some areas where he can go. He does have the money now to at least buy someone back, so they do ping that, but the hard part about Dam is, especially as the circle goes down, which gratefully it's for them, it's able to cut out the north side of the dam, so it's actually the dam itself is not in the zone, and it's going to be around an area that's a lot more open as opposed to the terminal or the dam itself. But the fact is that you got to get up to that buy station, and it's kind of difficult to navigate between A and B. But
Who's running most
as long as he gets one back, that's where it starts. It starts with one, and then you go from there.
Loctite.
Yeah, you look at it already. They're down to 12 teams, so they're into placement points, and you're hoping there that you're going to see more and more teams get picked off as the circle gets in closer and just add up those placement points. And wow, he is walking the line there with that deft play over the rocks.
Take note.
You can get up from here?
If you are watching and you don't know how to get up to the top of Dam, this is the quickest route up there. Walk that line, and then this is the angle of the dam. You can actually run up and get yourself towards the top here, and then you follow this wall as well. And the one-time mantling is actually going to pan out. So if you ever get stuck in Dam where you're on the bottom level, you're on the ice lake, and the zone is starting to close up around here, this is the way to get up. And it's one of those secrets that have just now started to really come into the light, where people are realizing that's the easiest way to traverse to get up to this spot. So he's going to get up to the high ground, get to these buildings, be able to buy a teammate back as well. And theoretically, there's nobody in these buildings, so hopefully he can be able to clear these out and loot up as well. Someone has hit this buy station already. She's going to buy first person on the top. And the call out coming out. There are people there. He does see. Yeah, that's dangerous.
Might be just one.
Yeah, I think
He's by himself.
It might just be one. He looks like. What?
Ooh. He does get lit up.
Oh, yeah, he's up in the window. Oh,
And now he's moving to a reset. He's out of there. That's smart. He doesn't have any armor either.
this guy's up to our...
And a truck right below him. Wow. Rough.
Yeah, bro, down to the right, too. What a
So we'll see how it pans out for them. Like I said, I got high hopes for this team, but this isn't working.
No, not right now. This is a little bit rough, and I think that we are going to be transferring over. Wait. That firefight, he's going to get it down there.
Ooh. Well, make it a double. That's a team wipe, too. So that's 2 kills for him right there at a point of turning. So that's good for him to start. But like you said, we are going to be switching over here.
That's right. We're going to be going to NFL running back and Sith Lord Orleans Darkwa. Coming in now, one of the greatest names in football. And they are dropping in for another round right now. And it looks like no, he's not coming back from the gulag. They're 40 teams, 140 people.
At the very beginning of this one, and going to the superstore, like I said, it is a very hot drop. There's a lot of loot, a lot of people. You'll see people going north to the airfield. You'll see people going on superstore itself, and all the buildings directly to the south in Storage Town, not too far away either. So there's a lot of real estate in this area to pick up loot, to pick up kills, and to pick up everything you need to really get yourself moving forward to the late game scenarios. Already has a couple teammates on the ground, try to go around this player that is right in front of him. Potentially going to be going for this to help his teammate out. You get a lot of good shots off, a lot of good damage on. He still has armor though. Got to reload. His teammate's probably begging for help at this point. They are going to get the kill. So that makes it 1. That's the first start. That's all you need.
Yeah, getting a quick one, even with the pistols coming out, you can't ask for much more than that off of the roof of Superstore. But the real problem is going to be down below.
Yeah. I mean, you see the shots on the minimap, on the radar as well, that there's a lot of people going into the Superstore trying to pick up a few kills for themselves. And now that their squad is being hunted, someone picked up a very quick bounty, which is not too out of the ordinary. But they're going to have to find out which direction they're going to go. And they do have to get indoors on this one. I mean, that's where a lot of the loot is, and you're going to be a lot safer inside of there to pick some of the stuff up. And it seems like they're being pretty tactical with it, though. They're kind of clearing everything as they go, making sure that there's no surprises around the corner waiting.
Fighting as a team, which is something that you don't see a lot of people doing, because the greed gets to you, where you want to be able to just get as much as you can for yourself as quickly as possible, and it can cause you to go off and get stuck in a fight you do not want to be in. I'm of the belief, by the way, that they should keep that javelin, because that is absolutely for the lulz.
Javelins are incredibly useful. Just not here.
Yeah.
This is not the place you want to use them, especially indoors. That's not. I mean, they work very well downtown. If you have people camping on top of buildings, like the hospital or downtown on the skyscrapers, those javelins, if you aim it just at the rooftop, at the edge of the rooftop, the javelin will go up and will land on top of the roof. And that's how you deal with roof campers. The more you know.
Strikes, but are you as an Air Force veteran? Are you speaking from experience about the javelin indoor usage, that's not typically advisable?
I can't personally attest to using a javelin indoors, but had I ever used a javelin indoors, I feel like I would not be here today. So it's like playing with explosives inside. Just don't do it. Or don't really play with explosives, period. That's just not a good idea.
Yeah, I was about to say you heard the man. Play with explosives outside.
Don't quote me on that one. Please don't do that. I gotta keep my name clear here. No, don't play with explosives. Don't fire javelins indoors.
Minutes left in the round right now. And this team hasn't really found anybody since they got that first kill, which is honestly a little surprising for Superstore and how populated it normally is.
Yeah, they're kind of playing a little slow. They had at least a couple teams dropping here. They dropped the one player, obviously, on the rooftop. They had a couple people that were exchanging fire down there on the ground level while they were still on the roof. But as they progress into this building, they kind of just hold up in this room, and they're potentially, looks like they're just waiting for someone to come out and, no, I dare you, come in this room, because all of them are sitting there. Also, the fact that they are being hunted, there is a squad that is trying to hunt them down. If they survive this, obviously get a little bit of pocket change, only 20 seconds to go before that happens. So it's smart for a couple of senses, but also kind of serving as a disadvantage because of the fact they're not picking up those points for the eliminations for themselves. But, I mean, obviously a little bit of pocket change here. They should theoretically be able to pull together after this one to get a loadout if they want it, which would probably be the smartest thing to do that you see a lot of players do. They get this money and then be able to pick up a loadout after that. Because then you get the classes, you get the perks, you get your weapons. It's so nice to be able to have all of that, especially Ghost and Cold-Blooded. Well, as soon as they leave.
So, the Ghost and Cold-Blooded, so important, and yep, you're right, they're going to start taking shots immediately, and they're going to get at least one elimination first, but not looking good now as a team. It is the instant they got out of that safety.
Yeah. Got one down. One went to the gulag already. Gonna have to pick up Orleans here. And gonna be able to get revived. But, I mean, being able to get himself into a position now, he's gonna have to armor back up, right? And wait for him to try to get to a better position. I mean, they're gonna be able to pick up a heartbeat, pick up all of the extra loot, extra ammo. There's still a couple people on heartbeat sensor here, so being able to pick up that heartbeat sensor is huge for them to kind of let them know what they're up against. Two players stacked on top of each other and trying to figure out a different location. They do have, their teammate does win the gulag as well, so he'll be coming back to help out at least a little bit. Maybe scout out a little bit on the backside for while he's parachuting down, because I imagine he's going to drop back onto his teammates.
There's safety over there. He'll be able to pick up his loadout again and then get right back in the fight. And like you said, the heartbeat sensor is so huge when you can pick it up in the early game before a lot of people have gotten their loadout drops. And that means that most people are still going to not have ghost and they're going to show up on heartbeat.
Well, that's not ideal. They get one down, but then they lose 2 teammates in the process, one of which goes to the gulag. They have to revive the second one while his teammate's still in a firefight on the other side. With a sliver of health and no armor. Orleans going to get the points for the reviver at least. Beyond that, though, he has another teammate down now and is going to get thirsted. Now they have to buy him back because he's already come back from the gulag one time. They do get an elimination at least, but this is looking kind of rough here in this engagement. I mean, I think at some point you just have to say, all right, we go next, right? We just leave this firefight, find a different angle because both of these teams, right? Orleans team and the other team just keep walking into the same place and the same thing keeps happening. And if you ever played, was it Fallout? No, not Fallout.
Rocket launcher just knocked the armor off.
See, now I'm mad because I can't think of this
I think
game.
we broke Trevor.
Like, yeah, we've been sitting here for a minute.
Well, if it comes to you.
One dude you knocked died though.
I can picture the, I can see
Yeah, I
the,
got one kill.
I'm gonna, alright, I'm gonna think of this. I'm gonna figure it out.
One kill I got.
All right, well, we'll get back to you on that, but in the meantime, they're still just stuck in this fight, not quite sure what to do.
Far Cry.
Maybe should drop some Far Cry, yep.
Far Cry 3.
Yeah, because I heard somebody on the
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Pretty sure that's just an Einstein quote, but okay.
I mean, they put it in Far Cry 3.
Yes, they
That's
did.
kind of where it came a lot more to. Like, the gamers recognize that there. Anyways,
jump down.
Now it looks like it's just going to be Orleans, and he's going to be killed, and they're gonna have 17, 18 minutes to try. Oh, that is a camp spot and a half right there, just devious. And oh, he'll be in the gulag, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's almost that point where do you want to keep with this game and just try and tough it out for placement points, see if you can make the long comeback? Or do you want to try and reset with this little time left in the round where you might not be able to finish out that game?
and I think it completely hinges on how they did in their first game, right? Like what kind of score they're looking at already. If their first game was only like 5 points with 5 kills and no placement, then I think you keep playing this one out. Maybe you picked up a few more points on this one, but for the time being, it's like you kind of go with how you feel from game number 1. Obviously, like you said at the beginning of this one, your round score, only the higher score counts. The highest game that you put together counts. And I mean, obviously they dropped down on this one. They're gonna take this as a wash, get 26th, a handful of eliminations, and reset to the next one. So they get at least four kills out of this one. But looking to see which direction they go because of the fact of in that situation, it's like, okay, where do you go from here? You know, how do we do the first time? We didn't do that great. Okay, well then we'll just stick with this one. And we'll go from there. But I mean, a few kills. They still have time. You know, 16 minutes change to put up another score, put up a better score. Assuming they didn't in that first one.
Interesting to see what that first one brought as we switch over now to former Patriots and Golden Bears running back Shane Vereen and seeing how his team is faring. He's got the nice, I believe that's the bamboo shoot. And with the thermal scope, with the NVG thermal.
That is disgusting. I hate that. That is so bad. I love that scope, but not on this gun. This is so awful. I can't. I mean, everyone obviously using thermal because thermal is really strong attachment to be able to utilize. But with the black and white thermal, you can actually kind of like see the motion of players without them having thermal up, right? I mean, this one, if that player has cold-blooded, then you're not going to be able to see him, and you're really not going to be able to see the movement of the character model at all. And he's scoped in on them right now, and that player absolutely can see where he's getting shot from. And the fact he doesn't have cold-blooded is what's giving him away. But if he has cold-blooded, it's just a green blur. That whole scope is a green blur, and you can't make out anything.
And the other important problem there is that it doesn't see through smoke. like the other thermal sight does, and that can be a very big problem.
That loadout with
Yeah, I mean, like, in its own rights, I love this scope personally because of like, how good it is on I think it's called the Rampage. It's an MP5 purple gun that is custom on this one, but that's the only time I really like using this scope, is that on the night version. But on a sniper rifle, I'd rather just have outright a plain scope or the black and white thermal, because it's just so much more useful, so much more practical, because of the fact that you can see movement of character models, you can see through smoke like you said, and it's just normal. Like, people are used to that. This night vision, people are just not used to this. Like, in that shot, he's leading his target, and he thinks it's just an open rooftop. He takes the shot, but he doesn't realize that there's cover there for them to hide behind because it's just a green blur. Everything blurs together. It's all blended in.
Yeah, and that's just part of the problem when you're trying to make do with a sniper that you had to pick up like that. But he's got it on his custom M4 too.
Yeah. I mean, for the M4, I guess it's better because, closer range, you really don't have to worry about that, but it's...
Yeah, the M4 is a gun that I really like that sight on.
Yeah, closer range. Like, a fully automatic stuff, you can scope in. I mean, he's got 4 players in his sights right now, and he just has not been able to get in. I mean, he's got a couple armor shots on a couple of these opponents, but he just has not been able to get this scope in to get these shots on and get any downs, at least, or armor breaks.
The other slight advantage this scope does give you, though, is I don't believe that it gives you the sniper glint, or the Glyn Eastwood, as you call it.
Yeah, the classic Glyn Eastwood. That's a great term. I don't know who coined that, but they deserve a lot of credit, because that is the coolest thing. But still, I've been taking pop shots with this one. He has a player over there on, like, in the same building. Finally does get one to connect right there, but these are just body shots, leg shots that aren't doing a whole lot. Doesn't break armor, at least. Continues to ping these out. But, I mean, it's just a shooting gallery. He's just racking up damage at this point. Nothing else happening. He has teammates over there, but they're just not pushing up on the rooftop because it's just dangerous to do that. I mean, especially in a 1-on-2, 1-on-3, where you have that one singular teammate over there.
And he's got to watch out because not only is he low on sniper ammo, but there is a car that someone just got out of a car right below him who is not on their team.
Yeah. And it's like you're wasting a lot of time as well. Like, this is very valuable time that you could be using on an actual close range engage where you have 3 players taking pop shots at this rooftop and none of it's really working out. You're not getting any points or kills from it. And on the bottom of it, like you said, that car just pulled up. They lost a teammate to it. The teammate that was on the other building parachuted down and across and just drops down and gets dropped immediately and went to the gulag. And now they're going to have to be careful this scenario because of the fact that there's probably a team that's trying to come up to the rooftop. You've been taking pop shots for so long. You've been on the radar the whole time. They know you're coming. They know where you are. And with only two red dots popping up there, that's an easy target. 4-on-2 will take numbers advantage every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be the big issue. Just the fact that you're making yourself a target and you haven't really gotten anything to show for it. You've wasted a lot of ammo, but you don't get points for damage. And those shots so far away aren't going to do the trick when it comes to downing and killing players. Most of the time, their teammates, even if they get downed, which they weren't, they're going to be able to get them back up. You were just creating a lot of attention for yourself, and now there's an airstrike coming in on your position.
I mean, they should all be all right from where they're at. I mean, they're indoors enough that it's okay, and the A-10's coming from the other side, so they'll be okay for that fact. But, I mean, using that weapon, the lever action, it's not great. I mean, it's good for a lot of pop shots to put down suppressing fire, but beyond that, at that range, like, it's all, body shots. So if you have, like, the Car 98 or something like EBR, even, I think EBR more than the Car 98, then you're doing more damage with those shots as the body shots to connect. You at least break armor with those 2 that you did hit. Versus, obviously, if you're using the AX-50 or the sniper rifles in general, you're just going to be able to get 1 or 2 shot kills, assuming they don't have any armor at that point. So, I mean, not a huge proponent of that lever action rifle. I don't think it's that great. But if it's available, it's like having long range capability is good, but this is just not the best long range that you could find.
Yeah, but it might just be what he's been able to deal with at the moment.
All
there
right.
you go. He's going to get one down. He's going to have to be. Can he take this shot?
I think if you change this, like change your gun just to single fire, then you're doing a lot more. Like if you just do that, then you're being able to put down a lot more fire. That's gonna do just as much damage as that 4570 is with your M4. I mean, it's. I don't know. That's just me talking as to what I would be doing in this. But now because the fact you do get it down, but you also now have another airstrike coming in, and there's a player right there.
Oof.
So they at least get the kill. And they save themselves from this, but they take a lot of damage for it. They're gonna have to use some armor plates, take cover as well, because they've just been all they've been doing for the last 5 minutes is drawing attention to themselves. So you got to do something. You got to change something here. I mean, the advantage is they're sitting just inside a zone, so they have that at least.
Good news is there is a custom AX50 right there that he could pick up if he's so inclined.
Yeah, Corpse Maker.
Nice.
That's a great rifle too, and it does have thermal on it too. So
I believe he's got the thermal variable.
it's a great rifle. That's an upgrade. If I'm him, I'd take that. Only have 5 shots, but that's totally fine.
There's a heartbeat sensor down there, but he's going to opt not to take that at the
Oh.
moment. And
Yeah.
wow, instantly lit up. I can't even tell. There wasn't a helicopter. I don't know where he got shot from there. And lucky to still be alive, his teammate, if he gets in the fight, and instead that's going to be the full kill for that team.
Wow.
That's where he was hiding, right by him. No wonder the lasering happened.
Never would have seen him. I was say that was a lot of shots very quickly that did so much damage, and that makes a lot more sense if you're sitting that close. He had no idea, was not able to do anything about that, and then one RPG shot to get that kill. It's gonna send him to the gulag, looking for some sort of a reset between them. But I mean, they only have the one player that is down, also in the gulag. Everyone else has respawn or has come back, and now it's all up to Shane Vereen here. With just about 8 minutes left here in the first round. And I'm excited to see kind of where these scores are going to start to shake out. Because of the fact that it's such a huge variation of players that has been, that play Call of Duty a lot. You can just by spectating, you can kind of tell, okay, you have put in hundreds of hours into Call of Duty versus, okay, you play casually. You just play when you have a little bit of free time. Where do you fall in that? Are you the hundreds of hours of Call of Duty, or you just play when you have free time?
I'm definitely more of the play when I have free time. I think the problem is some of these guys who get so good at this game have so much time to play, and they only play this game. I like to spice things up. Like I have a Madden League running with one of my friends right now.
Nice.
I was thinking about re-downloading Red Dead Redemption 2 for a little while, dive into that for a bit. I've got a FIFA League at the moment, and then of course I like to dive in. Like to play some Warzone with my buddies, and then also play some Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, a little bit of variety. Mix it up.
Very great hit there.
That was a great kill. That poor player. I mean, coming back from the gulag, all he had is a pistol. So there was obviously nothing he was going to be able to do about that. Doing all right. Making sure no one else coming. Someone just bought someone back there on that respawn. So smart of them to at least be aware of their surroundings, looking for the player. They do see him. So we'll see where this goes from here. It's a rocket launcher. That's just mean.
It's a quality play right there. Can take out some of the helicopters too. That one, the Pila, a long reload to it, but can be worth it, especially when you know that they're trapped.
Yep. So we'll see how it goes for them. Obviously, with Vereen being down and out of this one, we have a handful of other teams. We've mentioned there's quite a few players. I think we have 7 or 8 teams registered in this one. This one that we're spectating here is Tyler Jackson. See, he's got all of his plugs up there. With only a handful of time left.
That's called self-promotion, and that is what you do to succeed, my friend.
Smart
he's
stuff.
He's also got, I believe that's the Rampage, but
I love that gun.
Yeah, there are a handful of thermal MP5s, so I'm not positive which one it is, but I do know that all of the thermal MP5s are always a good option.
Yeah, that one is the Rampage. That was the one I was talking about earlier when, I mean, you saw Vereen had the 4570 with that night vision thermal. This is the MP5 variant that they put on there, and I love this gun so much. I mean, there's so many people that hate this because of the sight, but the MP5 in and of itself is a great SMG. It's a great weapon, plus this thermal. I feel so much more confident in being able to take firefights with this because I can just see everything. But once you get up close and personal, you just hip fire, so you don't even have to aim down sight anyways. But I just love this gun.
And he's going to find a great loadout here. He's going to pick up an M13 custom that he's going to be able to rock with. Really, if he wants to, he can rock that for the rest of the game for a while.
Yeah.
My personal preference, honestly, when I can find the Rampage or one of the other MP5 or MP7 variants, is I play it. I play it where if I have one of those guns, off of my loadout drop, I can pick up my sniper class that still has Ghost. Or if I don't have one of those, I'll just go with my M4 so that I know that I have a gun that I can fight with at virtually any range, and I'll forego the sniper and see if I can't pick one up that can work for me. But if you have the MP5, it can be so useful for when you get your loadout drop, because all of a sudden you can still have Ghost and also have two viable weapons to play with.
And I think it completely is dependent on what you already have. Like even from personal experience, like what you already have in your hands kind of alters what you want to pick up, right? If you already have a really solid SMG or assault rifle, then you pick up the sniper class. So then you drop whatever your secondary is on the sniper class, pick up the rifle you already had previously, and then you're set. If you already have a really good sniper rifle, do the opposite. Pick up your class with the AR or the SMG, and then move on from there. So you get your classes, but you also have the capability of the medium to long range with your AR, or the short range with your SMG, and the sniper rifle is always worth it. But I mean, usually you have a teammate that has an RPG or a rocket launcher or something, explosives to deal with vehicles. Obviously, vehicles not as big of a problem as they used to be, so much as the Snake Shot 357 Akimbos, which just got nerfed, so not as great, but still pretty strong. But it's all completely down to player preference as to what your secondary is going to be.
When you have
And I
a
love to
team
see
in
the variety.
Yeah, when you have a team in quads too, the big thing there is you can afford, like you said, to have maybe 2 players running with snipers and 2 players running with the RPGs, and so you specialize a little bit on how you're going to play that. As we see, they did get the down there. I think they got the full kill. Someone did who wasn't Tyler.
Yeah,
and
it'll come
even
through.
It'll at the very least, if they didn't get it, they're sure as heck going to get it with that gas coming in now.
Yeah, that's going to be all right with what's going for them. They continue to progress here through the scrapyard. See what they're going to be able to pick anything up. There are only 10 other teams going on, coming up on the actual placement points for the top 8 on a UAV. Only a couple of minutes left, so if they do get that top 8, that is so much for them. Interesting, you swap out the MP5 for the P90. I don't know about that. Yeah, this is not a great engagement either.
Yeah, I'm behind something though.
We get taken down. Wait for someone to pick him up and look for some go through here. Now another teammate gonna go down as well. That's rough. Immediately progressing here, but they still have a couple players up. Never mind, everyone's dead. They didn't quite make that top 8, but they got at least 21, 22 kills. So that's pretty good.
Wow, yeah, that might be good enough. They're gonna wish that they got that top 8 placement points, but that still might be good enough for a very high score after round 1, given what we've seen so far. They're certainly one of the teams that's had a larger kill count, and kill counts can really be important. But we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen here, as we have another team who is really starting. You talk about high kill counts, and that's going to be another one down there. And this team going to have the potential to do some damage here with 1 minute and 10 left as they try and get into as many placement points as possible. Don't know if they're going to be able to finish out the game, but they're going to be at least in a good position to rack up a decent amount of points out of this.
Yeah, hoping the lobby does them a little favor. Maybe take out a team or two in the next 20 to 30 seconds, but they're cutting it really close here, coming around the docks. Like you said, they're probably not going to have time to actually finish this themselves, but there are 5 other teams left now, so they do certainly have this potential to get themselves in now to get top 5 placement points. Plus, they do have good points already added up from their kills. But you can see they are spread out, and they are looking for these squads, trying to find out if someone's hiding, pick up another couple extra kills at least.
Time is running out, going to get some shots, but not break armor there. Very nice topo camo, by the way.
Second story.
Top 4, looking for top 3. They do get top 3 as well.
No, can't ask for any more than that. And just as we talked about how the last game might have been Might have been a recipe for a top spot. These guys making a promising statement.
Yeah, they're coming down right into this one. Maybe trying to get anything. Time looking to expire. He does get one more kill as the time does go down. And they are so close to, I mean, just outright for your own pride, just for winning this game. Me feeling a little bit better about that. Another player's gonna be going down.
Yeah, hey guys, come to me.
It's like we'll see how this one is gonna play out for them. This is shaping up for a good game though. Just at least kind of build up the confidence into round 2, and you ending round 1 on a win. Like that's just building up so much momentum for you and your team, and that's you're feeling good. You're feeling good moving forward.
Gotta feel good after a round like that, and we're going to see what some of the other players have been able to put up. Very curious to see how these scoreboards shake out here.
Yes.
Especially because there's the potential that placement points really come into play here in a way that maybe we don't see in some of the professional gamer tournaments, where they're racking up just so many kills that the placement points are really just minor bonuses. But here, placement points could come very much into effect. Gonna be curious to see how everything broke down from those rounds and see what some of the other teams that we didn't get a chance to look at were able to do. And we talked about Orleans Darklaw, his team. We saw one of their games, but we don't know what had happened in their previous one.
Yep.
They could potentially have put up a good score there. They were looking pretty good.
Yeah, and watching 3 or 4 teams actually playing, like we had the potential of any of the other teams that we didn't get to see putting up crazy scores. I mean, someone out there could have 45 kills and a win. And so I'm excited to see maybe there is kind of that dark horse on the leaderboard, maybe that is going to be surprising all of us here. And as it progresses, I'm excited to see who has really showed up to this tournament and see what teams are actually doing some work out here, showing up for themselves.
Yeah, it is so much fun to see these guys who you don't normally think of again in terms of their gaming prowess showing off what they can do here. And it's been really fun to see them play. Who do you think has impressed you the most so far through round 1?
I think actually the team that we just watched, Sal and his team, like they've done so well. We started out with them and they did pretty good opening up that round, and they did even better closing it out. So I think that they've done pretty well so far, and I'm excited to see what score they're going to put up from that.
Yeah, really looking forward to those scoreboards. I'm also very interested in seeing how Brett Phillips did, because we are going to be coming right back from this with a special interview with him. Stick around. You don't want to go anywhere.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. I'm the highest.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm Thomas Viola here with Kansas City Royals outfielder Brett Phillips. He's the former Houston Astros minor league player of the year, and he once threw a StatCast record 104 mile-an-hour missile to get David Freese out at home plate. Brett, how are you doing today, and how have you been feeling so far after round one?
Oh man, I'm happy to be here. I love that you're prepared. You've got your stats. We're throwing missiles from the outfield, and we're popping missiles in Call of Duty right now. It's been a great time.
Now, I know that you took part in the MLB The Show Players League, but you also told Yahoo that you've been attending Call of Duty tournaments ever since you were a kid. How much COD have you been playing during quarantine, and do you think this could be like a second pro career project for you?
Yeah, so my Twitch channel's been growing. I've been streaming for about 2 years, but yeah, I've been playing COD tournaments since 7th grade, going to LAN tournaments in video game stores. And I've played all the Call of Duties. Warzone has been awesome. It's been a good time to kill time and to enjoy some video games. It's been great.
Now, are other guys in the clubhouse already into video games, or have people been discovering kind of, oh, hey, this is a great way for us to kill some time? Is it growing, or has it always been something that the athletic community and you guys at the Royals have been able to get into together?
Yeah, so I think Fortnite actually brought baseball players. I can't speak for the other athletes like NFL and basketball, but Fortnite kind of brought baseball players together on the video game scene. Obviously, I've been playing for a while, but in the clubhouse, I would say at least 80% are playing Call of Duty or some sort of video game now and are starting to stream and get in that scene, which is awesome. So we're kind of merging that bridge of gamers and athletes together, and it's been really fun.
Now, before we let you go, absolutely have to get you to plug your Twitch channel and all that. You told us you have one. Where can people find you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's twitch.tv/Brett Phillips, 2 T's, 2 L's. And it's a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me in this tournament. Hopefully we come out on top.
Best of luck moving forward. One more question for you here. Is the beard a quarantine beard, or have you been rocking that a while?
This is the first time I've grown a beard. I'm glad you asked. I call myself a hybrid. I've got dark brown hair in the back. I've got a red beard in the front, and then I've got some blonde eyebrows up top there. Straight hybrid. I touch all three. You've never seen anything like it.
Man, you're like a creative player on one of those games where someone just went wild and was like, we're going with all the hair colors here.
And this is what they came out with.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for playing with us today. And of course, best of luck once we do eventually have baseball season back. Looking forward to seeing you playing, but best of luck in the tournament as well.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, don't go anywhere, everybody. We will be right back with round 2 right after this, coming back to you live.
Half of my heart is
I can't win, I can't reign. I will never win this game without you, without you, without you. I am lost, I am vain. I will never be the same without you, without you, without you, without you. I won't run, I won't fly. I will never make it by without you, without you. I can't rest, I can't fight. All I need is you and I without you.
The Esports Celebrity Challenge is officially sponsored by JBL. Step up your game with the Quantum 800 headset. HyperX, we're all gamers. Lucid Sound, engineered to win. And MetaThreads, your lifestyle gaming apparel partner. Welcome back, everybody. Once again, I'm Thomas Viola, joined by Trevor McNeil as we get ready for round 2 of our Call of Duty Warzone Esports Celebrity Challenge. And thank you so much to Brett Phillips, 4th grade spelling bee runner-up.
Alright, I just saw that in his bio, and that's one of my favorite things ever.
No question about it. We are getting ready here for a leaderboard right now so that we can take a look in and see how everybody how everything shook down.
Yeah, we see right there, Sal. They did very well in that last round, putting up 30 points here at what I imagine would be coming out of that last game, both from the kills and the placement. Mitch Garver and his team running up there in second place at 26. Brett Phillips, the man himself, coming in third with 23 points along with his team. And Shane Vereen, we also spectated a little bit of his gameplay. They pulled up 17 points, sitting in fourth right now. So some teams got a little bit of work to do, certainly within contention. But I'm excited to see what they're going to do now that they're all warmed up after round 1.
It's going to be, and everybody knows where they stand now. Everybody knows how everybody else was scoring out and what you need to do to take your place in the final, to take your place and really crack up the top of that leaderboard. As we're going to have teams dropping in just a few minutes. We're getting ready to see that. And I think round 2, we're going to see a lot more high scoring than we did in round 1. I think teams know what they got to do now. You know what you know where you have to go. You know how you have to drop in. And I think everybody is going to be feeling good after an hour playing together and then a quick break there, coming back in strong here.
Yeah, able to get that good warm-up round after coming out. We saw with Sal right there at the end. I imagine they probably ended up winning that game. That's just a good momentum booster, a good confidence boost for them to be able to move forward into that, into this second round here, as it looks like that's where we're going to start out spectating. And they kind of have not the greatest of circles, and the line's pretty sick of the map, but the zone obviously going down towards the grenade but maybe Boneyard as well, but going to be starting out at least with this pretty decent loot here at Promenade, and I'm curious to see how it's going to shake out for them because of the fact that they are now the ones with the target on their back sitting on the top of the leaderboard and with 30 points. I'm excited for what's going to happen out of this.
To be happy with a 30-point round, and they're going to be dropping in immediately, and that's a decent rooftop drop, but no gun. Still rocking that X16. Gonna have to go down, and still no gun after he gets down the stairwell. He's at least got dead silence, but he's going to opt instead to pick up the portable cover, and he's going to go straight for the box, but he's going to show him a javelin, which, fun fact, you don't want to use indoors. So he's just having a rough time right now. Finally picks up a shotgun. I'm going to go back and get the M91 as well. And now he's at least in position to do some fighting with this Odin.
Yeah, the M91's pretty good in the early game, especially how strong it is because of just the amount of fire that you can put down range, right? That's just the strength out of it. And this early, no one really has that much ammo. But the Odin as well, a really solid gun. Plus, if you're able to upgrade that was an upgraded Odin. I think that was the green, if not a blue Odin that he just passed up right there. But that's interesting enough that the Odin is just a really strong assault rifle by itself and does a lot of damage. but you just really have to be on point with the accuracy of it because it's not like the fully automatic fire that you get from the likes of an M4 or an M13.
You only get 20 shots to a mag, but it can be useful at a lot longer of a range, and it deals a lot more damage with those 20 shots. So, not the worst position you can be in, especially for a starting loadout gun.
Right. So, I mean, plus picking up the P90, that's pretty good because that's, again, just the amount of fire that you're able to lay down. But there's just so many boxes and chests and just free loot just laying around here. Obviously not a super contested area, as I mean, they've got one player that's already dropped down. They're going to have to buy back, but on that, it's just a point of, you know, where they're sitting to try to pick up some more points, pick up some more kills. I mean, they're already inside a zone, so they don't have to worry about running across the map if they need to. Had they dropped outside of the area, which, again, kind of goes to the personal preference thing. You know, you have the players that, okay, they see this zone, they realize it's going to the southwest corner of this map, so what they're going to do is they're going to drop to the east or the northeast. They're going to go quarry or lumber or to the farms and pick up all the loot out there and then just rotate in. But you have the teams like this as well where they're going to drop into an area that theoretically could be kind of a hot drop, a lot more players, and maybe pick up some more kills, but you're not as exposed to as much loot on the way between A and B. And, I mean, it's a give and take. It's a risk and reward kind of thing, and they took the risk to potentially go for more of a hot drop. Just the problem with it is they haven't got the reward just yet.
They haven't seen the enemies, which can be nice because it does give you the freedom to loot this as you want. But this is supposed to be a kill marathon, and you're simply not producing the kills that you really want right now. Gonna have to see what they can do with it. They've already got one player who needs to redeploy, but at least Sal here has full armor to begin with, and he's got a decent loadout here, so they're ready for a fight. And the other nice thing about dropping in an area like this is you, like you said, are just going to see more people who are going to have picked up more of the loot for you. So it's almost, if you can get those kills, the job's been done for you. All the loot is centralized. And that is the use that comes with playing a more aggressive style. You're actually going to be in a better position loot-wise just by virtue of winning those fights. So it is the high risk, high reward if you do have to win the fights to get the loot. But when you do, you're put in a much better position. Plus, you're going to have a lot more cash, and they're going to buy the loadout drop now.
Absolutely.
Oh no, yeah, they're going to get the loadout drop, not the redeploy.
Yeah, he had, I mean, starting into the zone, he had $9,500, give or take, to be able to get himself, to be able to buy back his teammate if he wants to, but then he found another 500, put him at 9,900, and at that point, he's just frantically searching, please give me another $100, throw in the C4.
Oh, that's a good C4.
Does get the vehicle disabled, plus the down as well, so that's good for him, at least just to get that one, be able to pick one up here, as there was no one else in that vehicle, is going to get destroyed as well. Gonna drop down, finish this one off. So that's one secured, plus his own personal loadout. But the problem with everything else is the fact that they had that much money, and it's kind of weigh your options, right? Do you go for you have $10,000, right? Do you go for the loadout, or do you spend it to bring back your teammate, and then, fingers crossed, find another $5,000 to be able to get the loadout later? Obviously, opting into the loadout choice first. How do you feel about that? Do you think you buy back your teammate first?
Frankly, I think it depends on the scenario, but right here, I like what they did because they got the guns that they wanted, so they're going to be able to fight every fight that they really... They're going to be able to fight fights down a man, and plus you're going to attract a little bit more attention, which you actually want in this game mode right now. And that's going to most likely be able to give you the extra cash you need. And then you look what they've got. They're only short a couple $100. So I really do like the mental math that they did, where getting that loadout drop first makes everybody in fighting shape. And then they can just drop the cash, pull it all together, and be pretty damn close. As we're going to see, talking about close there, this helicopter drop, he's going to break that armor. But not quite get the kills yet. But they do have a guy up on that roof to try and follow up here. And just as I say that he's going to be downed, and he's packing in the gulag now.
Now, see, imagine if you had a full squad of 4 here.
Yeah,
maybe.
That is,
I don't know.
Yeah, the risk reward of it, but the guy that you would have dropped in, not necessarily going to have a loadout to be in fighting shape right now.
Right, he wouldn't have his own custom loadout, but there's certainly enough of the boxes and crates and stuff that were picked up that you know, there's slim pickings, but it's enough to at least get by. Especially one of the crates that we saw Sal open did have at least the LMG in it. At that point, you just unload the whole clip into that helicopter as it flies over. And
worth also mentioning that they are being hunted and that team is actually
Yes.
running away from them now. Or
Yeah,
rather,
we'll
they're
see.
the ones running away.
Kind of curious as to what direction they are going to go with this, because the fact that you like, there's obviously two different approaches, right? When you are the squad being hunted, you go for the other team, like you just beeline to, all right, where are they at? I want to find them, or you just go find a building, find a room, and just hole up in that and wait, and make them come to you and hope that you get the drop on them, set up a good defense. But so far, it looks like they're kind of doing a little bit of a 50-50. Is it's only just the two of them alive, and they're not together. They're split up. But, I mean, the threat's only at one level. They only have another 75 seconds before this expires. Plus, they got the armor. They got the money. They're able to buy at least somebody back here. Going to ping the buy station. That's right where they came from. I don't know if that's going to be the play that he wants to do, to go back where they came from, where the team was. But it looks like that's the play he's going to make.
And they got a loadout drop on them, so he's going to be able to pick up both guns. And he'll be dual wielding now with that Kilo and the MP5. Gotta feel good about that. And again, huge fan of Sal's camo choice, because that camo, it's really good looking. I feel like that's one of the ones from the update, though, because that's one of the new topos that you get after you get gold, isn't it?
Grabbing the loadout.
I think that's the one, that the Damascus, or whatever they call it. It's like
you're right.
you get the gold, and then you, like, once you unlock gold for everything else or something, I don't know. It's something that requires a crazy time commitment. Do you have any gold guns yet, Tom?
I do. You're going to
You do?
hate me, though. You're going
no.
to hate me for this.
What is
so
it?
I have the gold M91, which took a little bit of work, but was quite a bit
Interesting.
of fun. And then
Okay.
I have the gold javelin.
What?
Yes. Yes, I do have the javelin gold.
All right.
It's because
Interesting.
it was right at the beginning of the game when when everything had just come out and I unlocked it, and then it was like, well, guess who's going spawn killing? And especially
Alright.
when Piccadilly was heavily in the rotation, you would just launch
Oh
a couple of those right at the beginning. And next thing I knew, I was so far along in the progression, I was like, well, I'm already
Might as
almost
well.
there. So I had to modify my play a little bit for a little while, and then I got it and was good to go.
That's surely not what I expected. I really did not expect that to be the answer, but all right.
I think it's clear from Sal's camo collection, though. This guy is one of the big winners of this tournament. He's got to be one of the dark horses to help carry a team all the way. Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
he's got the pedigree. He's got the goods to make a good run at this. As he's gonna spawn all the way across from the loadout drops that he's gonna want to go to. Curious to
and
see if he's even gonna try and make it that far.
He's going to be gliding for a long time. I mean, we're almost 14 minutes into this game. He's going over Superstore right now. Like, if I'm in this position, obviously Superstore is probably looted through and through. But if I'm in this position, like, I'm out of this one. Like, everyone else is dead. You have $1,000. You're gliding across the entirety of the map.
Hospital might be a
I'm
good
going next.
Hospital might be a decent drop spot, but I agree. You've got no one else in. You've spent 14 minutes. You don't have that many kills as a team, and you're not near placement points yet.
Yeah.
Might be time to cut bait and run, especially with the circle closing in. You've still got 3 minutes, so the gas isn't quite where you need to. The gas isn't quite going to be a risk for you yet, and I see the exact loadout drop that he's going to try and go to here.
Yeah, plus he's picking out on the map, like he's realizing that there's people there at this location. Plus, I mean, pulling the chute, the auditory cue is going to help them
He made
realize
it,
that he's
though.
coming. He made it all the way here before the gas is going to get here, so he's going to be able to get his loadout and then move on from there. But this is just really tough from where they're at because of just the fact that you've got the distance to cover, you have no teammates alive, you don't have any money. This is a tough game. Like, I understand you just playing casually, like, yeah, okay, play it out, see what happens. You know, I believe, I have faith, heart of the cards. Like, I'm going to bring my teammates back. But in the sense where it's a competitive environment where you have to get these kills, you have to get these points, you got to rack all this up.
He got his loadout back.
Yeah, I mean, he
completely.
picks up his other one as well. But it's like,
These guys
I'm not buying it. In a tournament setting, I'm not buying it.
Well,
Going for the
they
reset.
do have a little bit of a score advantage here. They've got a little bit of a cushion,
Right.
but That contract is going to be at one of those annoying spots to get to.
Yeah. Wow, he's gonna have everything he wants in the world right here, besides the money. One thing missing was the cash out of that, but gonna be able to. I mean, and that's the point where you're at. You know, you pick up a bounty, pick up something like he has a player on the rooftop taking shots at him. He's gonna have to take cover from this. He's gonna lose a little bit of armor, but like this is the point now where they know where you're at. You're probably outgunned. You're probably outnumbered. And it's a scenario of, okay, I understand you want to pick up the bounties because you're going to get money from that, but it's so hard to do, especially when you're just a one-man squad.
Time to cut bait, like you said.
And like you said, you know, being in the lead, they're up 30-26, I think, is where it is. Which first place is first place, but also you're only up by 4 kills. Like, and that's pretty easy to make up here in another round, which is the difference between, you know, 1 placement point or getting yourself the extra 2 or 3 kills. Like that's huge and really easy to make up that difference. So it's like it's not like that they have this in the bag after 1 round. There certainly is a close contest here between the 2 of them, but this is certainly something that's very difficult for them, and that's not the smartest of plays from that guy right there. Unfortunately, though, he ran out of ammo in his MP5, couldn't switch, couldn't reload, and is going to get gunned down. So, yeah, he was outmanned, outnumbered, and that's just, yeah, that's the go next. Just a 3 minutes extra time.
Yeah, let's get it going.
Not bad, though. I mean, you sunk an extra 3 minutes in, but it could have definitely been worse. Got a little lucky there. And now we are going to switch on over to our next player coming in here. That's going to be Mitch Barton.
Yeah, Mitch, and he was one of the players that was up there on the leaderboard, and now they're in a scenario where this is actually really good for them. They're coming up on top 5. They do have a decent amount of kills, at least between the team.
Gotta watch out here, though. Oh, is he going to make it out? Yeah, he does have the gas mask. Right. Yeah, and he's going to keep in that fight. Not going to get that kill.
His teammate's saving him, though. That is clutch. He's buying his teammate steak dinner tonight because he just saved his life.
Might have given his own for it. No, he's going to be able to make it out of there. I think he was just collecting some of that loot. Mitch, meanwhile, making his way. He's making his way over. He's in the circle now, but he's out of armor. And you are in the end game here. There's 5 squads left, only 12 players alive. Now, we are, of course, in broadcast. Math, not our strong suit, but that does not bode. That makes me think, because you've got 4 other squads with. No, everybody's alive on this team. So you've got 4 other squads and 10 players left. Two must have just gotten back in.
Yeah, they just bought him back because it was, like you said, it was 5 and 12. Oh no, that's not good. Now it's gonna be 13. He was just posted up there in that staircase. And yeah, as soon as you kick that door down, yeah, you're caught in the sprint. Absolutely going to be taking that one. So they're going to be going for the redeploy. You do have the player that they did buy back, though. So this is the smart thing. You know, they have a couple players on the ground with guns already. So you have the recon. This is essentially a free UAV where the player's just parachuting down and just tagging everybody. And the benefit of where this circle is going is that no one's going to be up on these rooftops. You're not going to have anybody with a crazy height advantage. And it's going to be pretty even between A and B as to where everybody is at. And you see 19, 5, 24.
I'm down, dude.
28 kills coming up on top 5. Like, they're sitting in a pretty good position now. This is a really good round for them.
Another guy coming right here. 3 guys right here.
What do you want me to do, guys?
Yeah, but they're down to 1 man on the ground because they've got 1 guy downed, and you have to think the parachuter is going to have to be the one.
That's unlucky.
We're trying to get top 3 here.
But he lands on the RPG.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's obviously what he was going for. He wanted something because of the fact that he had eyes on both the teammates around the tankers as well as the team right next to the building. But unfortunately does get lasered as soon as he hits the ground. Now at this point it's just like wait it out for top 3. Let someone else kind of take each other out. And fingers crossed that you get to that top 3 placement point. You see another player dropping in the top. This teammate here is going to drop here very shortly. So we'll be back down to the 10 players overall to spectate what's going on the ground level. Gas coming in as well. You do have the player inside of this container. At this point, you are playing fingers crossed for the zone to help you out.
Let him fight it out, dude. Let him fight it out as long as you can.
And you hear the call, let him fight it out. Don't push the issue. Don't threaten it. Don't force it. Just let it play out. So now you get top 3. Now you get those extra placement points as well. And you're feeling pretty good. So you got 2 players. Oh, yeah. that hurts because you have no armor left as well. That's exactly what that player was expecting. There's somebody in this container, but there are 3 players left, and he's able to pick up the armor. So if he's able to armor up here, he's actually sitting pretty good. Gas coming in though. He has to move. There's a gas mask right there.
He's gonna be able to pick it up, and he's gonna be fine. Very big for him there.
Nope, it's just you and that guy and some.
It's 1-on-2 now. It's him and 2. He got shot at once, so he's gonna have to push the issue here. They do know that they have zone control, so this is the point of where it comes down to accuracy. He does get a couple hits. He's doing pretty good. Plus, he has a few more armor plates, but he's got to move up. Oh, the riot shield pushed up. Unfortunately, numbers disadvantage. Not able to get that, but they do get second place. They do get at least 28, 27, 28 kills. So that's a really good round for them.
Yeah, that's going to be a big round, and they still have time to improve on that score.
Yeah, and this is that's a pretty good start to spectate on Brett Phillips here. He's got a whole squad coming up on him, able to prevent from getting road killed right there, but unfortunately he's going to get dropped down immediately after that. And this is the team I have the high expectations for. They've done pretty good out of the first round, sitting up there in the top 3 overall, but obviously got a little bit of ground to make up. Especially if we see performances like we saw out of Mitch Garver's team right there.
Yeah, Mitch having a great game there, and now we'll see as Brett gets back up, and he's gonna be able to rearmor, but only 1 plate, so not gonna be in the best position in terms of survivability for this fight that he's gonna be in, and he's gonna get the down though, and just having the drop, and that is, by the way, one of my favorite LMGs.
Which one? The one he's got now?
Yeah, in terms of the loadouts that you not that you can drop in, but that you can just find on the ground. I love that gun.
That's the new one, isn't it?
I think so.
I think that's a new LMG that they added in here. I mean, and Call of Duty does so well with that, right? Like when they added the LMG that was the Holger, is that right?
Yep.
The one before that, when they added that one in, like that gun is so strong. It's such a good weapon, and like Call of Duty's done really well in adding in new weapons and making them viable and decent enough in their own rights. But obviously, like we mentioned at the very beginning, it's akimbo. How often can you trust akimbo weapons, and how strong they've always been? Like every akimbo gun in Call of Duty history has been ridiculous from start to finish.
They never seem to learn their lesson, which of course goes all the way back to the akimbo models.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what they're thinking, but I mean, hopefully the 357 is a little bit better now with the nerf that they just hit 3 days ago. And also, like, the fact that they, nerfed Snake Shot on the 357s alone, but they also addressed a bug fix in which the 357s with Snake Shot was doing too much damage at long range, as if you were aimed down sight with it. So it's like, not only was it incredibly overpowered, but it was also a huge bug. So fingers crossed that they got it fixed and it's at a more respectable level now.
We're gonna spend 10 minutes on this son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, those guns are just, they were a mistake to put in this game from the beginning. And at least Infinity Ward realized it and fixed it. The other great thing that they've been able to do is with the introduction of the new guns. Remember back when the Modern Warfare Remaster came out?
Yeah.
Remember how the game was pretty much as we remembered, and then they decided, you know what, we're going to add new overpowered guns and loot drops? They didn't do that here. The Battle Pass system is so much better, and it just makes the introduction of the guns that much more doable, and a whole lot of players dropping out of the game now. Poor Brett and his team. Brett's already in the gulag, and gonna have more teammates joining him shortly, but he's gonna jump right into his fight here. Gonna have the 1911, and he's gonna be going full aggro here. Sees the guy, takes his shots, and he's gonna get that kill. So Brett is coming back.
Yeah, 10. They're up to 10 kills so far, just about halfway through this round. So not a bad start. Hoping to be able to finish this one out, because this is a good setup for them. I mean, they got 31 teams left. There's a whole lot of players still left alive as well. Like they certainly could put up a really good number out of this round. Like this is shaping up to be a really strong round for them.
There's one right here. There's one over at the stadium.
Yeah, gonna be especially interesting if his teammate can come back from the gulag. They're smart. They're marking the loadout, the scavenger contracts right now. I'm a big fan of dropping hills. That is my normal drop spot, and it looks like that's where he's going to be going here on this reset.
Yeah, it's not a bad place to go. I mean, there's a good amount of loot, a good amount of boxes as well out there, and it's interesting.
Yeah, he quickly makes a right turn there, a little bit of a head fake. He's the only one left on his team now, though.
How much money? I don't need that much to get y'all back.
Yeah, that's
his teammate did not win the gulag fight, but he's gonna pick up the scavenger contract.
Scavenger gets an Odin as well. I mean, he has the Magnum. It's all right. I personally I don't like the 357 by itself. Like
I don't think anybody does.
It's really reliable, or really reliant on the fact that you have accuracy with it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're screwed. But if you do have accuracy with it, then it is a really reliable weapon.
The other ones.
If you're able to hit your shots, but that's asking a lot for Call of Duty players to hit your shots.
Is there a ladder out here or something? Yeah.
He's gonna grab the ladder, head up to the top, and get that first scavenger contract. Trying to get it's the long battle back to get the 1,700 bucks or so that he's gonna need here, or 1,300.
Yeah, he got one, so he's got enough for one person, plus a buy station right here, so he's gonna be able to buy one back, and then go straight to the next scavenger loadout. So he's gonna catch. So he's gonna buy one teammate, which is it's something. It's a start. Start with one. You got a little bit of odds, better odds of survival now, so you don't have to worry about necessarily carrying a team by yourself. Plus a little extra pocket change laying around in the.
Plus, you see it with some of the pro players how their strategy is to squad up in teams of two and still take on the four-man fights. You can survive as a two-man squad and your odds of survival just increase so much over when you're the one-man team.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see those teams do that and how well they do, and the success rate that they have with it. It's pretty crazy, but it's really cool to see the fact that it is viable, that you don't necessarily have to be holed up with a whole four-man squad. Like, you can roam around in a two-man roving death squad. Just take smart engagements. Just be smart with what you're doing, and fingers crossed that's going to be the point of getting yourself to a position where you get the kill at the end game. And what great fortune that he just turns the corner and finds $3,000 laying on the ground.
Man, I wish that could happen to me right after this cast is over, let me tell you.
That would be pretty nice. Turn the corner, find $1,000. I'm gonna walk out of my room and.
Yeah, that's gonna let him buy back another player too at the buy station right there. And they complete the scavenger contract as well, so they can pool their money together. They don't even have to pool the money.
Alright, let's go.
I don't think was that loadout drop theirs, or did that just drop on them?
I think that was one that just dropped. Yeah.
Wow. Brett and company, the charm team of destiny right now.
Yeah.
As they're going to be able to get everybody back in. Everybody's going to be able to get their loadouts. And they're going to be able to go right back into this game with 22 squads remaining.
Feeling pretty good about this. Picking up a decent amount of kills already. They got their loadouts. They got themselves all spawned back in. They picked up a good amount of money from that as well. Going to see what their next move is going to be, as they are well within zone. They're well within circle. They don't have to worry about what's going on at any point here. And, you're feeling comfortable about what's happening because of just the stroke of luck that you have had. They're all grouping up together. There's, they pinged out, okay, here's the building and where the loadout or where the loot is and where the ammo drop is. Now, share the load. Give me your ammo, I'll give you mine. Drop some armor for everybody. Get them all stocked up and just go from there.
Alright, let's play, fellas. We can get... Somebody got a laser?
Oh, yeah, Gavin, drop me your... Here, drop me my money.
On to a position. They're still just kind of dropping everything out. They're going to figure out... Probably pick up some more ammo. Not ammo, but armor plates.
Called in.
I would expect that's the play. Make sure everybody's got their proper load out here. UAV as well. Smart.
Oh, here comes the chopper.
And that UAV is going to come in handy. They're going to see that helicopter coming in.
They all dropped
And
out.
it looks like people are going to be dropping
They're over
from
here.
it.
Yeah,
You can hear him saying that they all dropped out,
other guys in
and
the chopper.
looks like one of them is
three
kind of
guys
just
over here.
circling to give him eyes, while
Yeah.
the other 3 are at Firehouse. So this could be an interesting, very interesting engagement
camel?
coming through.
Yeah, they got eyes in the sky at least.
I got another UAV going up.
And the rest of the team did parachute out, like you said, there to the Firehouse. We take a couple pop shots here at the chopper, but keep a live ping on it, keep eyes on it. Does have the RPG.
If he snipes with this RPG,
I respect the effort.
yeah,
It's hard. It's really difficult too, but I respect the
Killing
effort on
comes in
that.
handy there.
Fire department tower. Like another guy
See if they're
down
gonna trade some
bottom,
pop shots here.
There's 3 over there.
Or see what the
UAV.
what they want to do, because they know that they're there, right? And you know you've already got a decent position as to your 10 kills that you have. Try to add on to that. But from where it is, I mean, Trevor May now in the background going down as well. Plus the helicopter just crashing, so they abandoned the chopper and try to figure out where Trevor May got shot from. I wonder if he got shot peeking that corner.
Let's get in this building right here.
They're gonna fall
But,
back here
yeah.
as they're getting pushed. And that's smart. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is know when to run away from a fight. You're not going to win it. Just try and keep up your survivability and stay alive and keep getting those placement points. You don't have to take every fight you get into, and that's something that a lot of amateur teams don't realize.
Yeah, you have to be smart about your fights, right? I mean, you don't have to, like you said, engage in every single one. You just take them as they come, play smart, play when you have tactical advantage, when you have a high ground, or you have cover, or you have numbers. I mean, there's so many different sort of factors that take into effect on when you do decide to fight against another team. And being able to kind of fall back here, take a building, get high ground, plus just finding this recon drone out of this box helps out a lot, because you're going to be able to see this team coming in, be able to scout out the area as well, and just see anyone if you can moving in.
Never knew
Try
that.
not to get psyched out by the birds, because everyone knows those birds are tricky. They look a lot like parachutes.
Point of them. That was done by design.
Absolutely. There's no way it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to find a team to jump off on.
Yeah, trying to scout out something. They need some more points. I mean, they're sitting all right, plus racking up placement as they get closer and closer to it. But problem the fact is that you just don't have any eyes on anybody
Let's
here.
hear the circle. Yeah.
They're still gonna
And
be coming
people
in.
start coming
They're
in
fine.
now with the circle coming a lot closer.
Over to train station. And then go in.
It's
Or do you wanna stay
a
in the
decent
circle?
spot. I mean, train station marking that one out. That's a very popular location as well. But as it stands, Brett Phillips does not have any sort of long-range engage. He just has a couple automatic. He has the automatic plus the RPG, relying on the teammates, obviously, with the snipers, with the marksmen, to kind of do that long-range work.
Hit him armor.
And you can hear the pop shots going off. So they got eyes on somebody here at least. And yeah, this is the point where Brett Phillips is like, I gotta go. Like, I can't. I'm not doing anything here. He's the one that's being hunted as well. So he's the one that is leading the charge here. And they're making their move.
I have one as well.
Buy another UAV when they have the chance. Some armor plates coming in. They can hear a chest as well. And right now, it's pretty much just you're looking for a fight. You're looking for people that you can come. As he's going to pick up another $1,200 on the stairwell.
That's nice.
Let me tell you, I think I understand why the people of Kyrgyzstan have these problems. Gas is $10 a gallon, and
Yeah.
you're just leaving 12 grand lying around on the stairwell.
Yeah, that's not good for your economy. I mean, that's just your money is worthless at that point. That's not great. But I'm not gonna talk about the economics of this country here. I don't think that's a great idea. Cause they just flame them all day long. No wonder your country's in war. It's in shambles. But being able to pick
lost
up
that
that extra
bounty?
money,
We should
they
get
do lose that. They able to pick up some money for it. Now they have all kinds of money looking for the buy station. You heard the calls looking for the UAVs. One of them is gonna pop.
Move up to the right.
They do have a couple
Yeah,
pings
let's move
on
up
the
to
map from that
right.
UAV.
Wait for 'em.
And the play coming through, it's like, do we want to push this? Do we want to go ahead and make this one? I mean, only 2 popping up. They would think they have numbers advantage unless they have Ghost. So this could be a good fight for them.
Very open area right now in this roundabout. Going to want to get to the cover that's coming up right over there, and they'll be on the edge of the circle, but in the safety of the circle. And their plan is going to be to try and force this team out and into the storm that is closing in very quickly on them.
Yeah, they got a little bit of real estate here. Not to worry about it. They're trying to find the flank on this other team as well. Obviously, they're not going to push too far outside of this circle, but that is another thing that you kind of see these players do a lot. You know, when they have that sort of advantage of positioning, you can afford to push out a little bit. He does fire one rocket, does get the armor break, and that is a great start to this fight to be able to at least put that kind of pressure on, draw that attention to this side of the building, and potentially let his teammates kind of fire up. And another $2,000 just laying around. I mean,
don't move in.
They're just getting all kinds of money and all kinds of luck out of this one. Looks like he's going to go up to this rooftop.
Isn't going to be good for anything if they can't get this team down. Very smart to go up to this rooftop. He's going to it's going to be open season for him with this RPG and his, I can't tell if that's the Holger or the Grau, but he sees the guy pushing. And he's rocking it well. He's hitting all those shots, gets the guy down. Still at least one left alive, and he's down one of Brett's teammates here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a second one.
Ping coming out, throwing smoke down, gonna pick up his teammate. Number 1, Trevor May, going down on the other side as well. I'm not sure where he got tagged from. Potentially the call out coming as to where someone else is, but does have one right around the corner. He heard him the whole way, and is gonna get the drop shot. Player rocking the Optic Gaming skin in game, but not gonna be enough to hit those trick shots. That's gonna be 3 kills picked up, and they're able to revive both of their teammates, Trevor May and Matt Duffy, getting picked up again.
So a lot of problems staying on his feet in this game, but I suppose that's just what you can expect. You can't really trust teammates named Trevor.
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Time out. Rewind. Run it back. You're not wrong. That's just a good engage from them. I mean, he dropping the FAL, picking up the AX-50. He's gonna have to move again. Circle is gonna be closing around in the southeast spot, but they have some. They don't have too far to go, and I mean they're sitting pretty enough. I mean they've got a good amount of kills. They're coming up on placement. They do have the first breach of placement points already coming through. Looking to continue to progress into that.
They do have to get hurrying here though, because there's only 15 seconds before this storm starts coming in, and they need to get out of the gas quickly because they're trying to go the long way around.
Yeah, I can see the play that they're wanting to do. They want to make sure they got everything picked up before they move, and getting up and around this next sequence of buildings. Make sure that there's nobody in here. They don't really want to get shot from behind, because that's just absurdly obnoxious. So make sure they are cleared out before they move on. Maybe pick up a bounty, pick up some more armor along the way. Covering the flanks as they progress through. The gas is coming here, but they don't have too far to go. Pick up the bounty, maybe pick up some extra money. They do get a 60% bonus from that, so that's pushing $5,000 that they're going to get if they do finish this one out, which is a pretty little penny, as they are very wealthy.
Yeah, and they just got a team wipe.
Keep moving into the right.
And so they're sitting really good now. I mean, with that much money that they have, and the fact that they are just continuing to progress in, like this is going to be really good for them, a really good setup. They would love to hit this buy station pretty early, make sure that this is cleared, because of the fact that they could absolutely buy 3 UAVs right now, make sure they got all the armor stacks that they need. And this is shaping up to be a really solid finishing game here for Brett Phillips and company.
One in front. We got a guy in front. 50 meters.
They're waiting. Looks like they've seen some people.
This is a dangerous engage though, right? Because the fact that it is middle, someone just does drop in, they see that one, someone gets bought back, but fact of the matter, the fact is that there's 3 or 4 buildings all around this buy station. They've pinged out there's someone in this building, they know that for a fact, so it's kind of dangerous to rush directly forward into this open courtyard to get that buy station.
Yeah, you don't need the UAV at this point, and they're playing this smart. They're not putting themselves in bad positions here. They're getting into cover so that they can see what they can do, maybe try and catch this other team napping. And now they're going to have a big problem, but they have a minute to deal with it, as they are not going to be in the...
Yeah, they're gonna obviously have to push towards this building where this team is. Their bounty they picked up is on the north side of this zone, so they're gonna be smart about this. At least play this pretty safe as to where they get there. They do buy a couple UAVs. Gonna pop one, buy another one. Make sure
When you're
everyone's
flush with cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can call it in.
Self-revive as well. That's smart.
I'm gonna drop money for
And they still have another like
get UAV,
8, 12 grand
self-revive.
almost.
A lot of people without.
Now they're going to see a lot of these people, so a lot of players that don't have Ghost on at the moment, and they're almost near the loadout drop that is probably going to attract a lot of attention right at the kind of apex of where they're going to want to come in on this circle.
Yeah, they got 2 pings down on this one, so they're going to rotate around the backside of this building. Pretty smart of them to take this at a good angle so that they don't have to worry about being covered by the zone and being open to fire from this team. Can go ahead and sneak up on this one. Do have the full pop. They pop another UAV just to make sure. Trevor May not holding anything back, and maybe that's why he's been down 3 or 4 times, because he just full force kicking down the door and not worried about that at all.
Highly aggressive.
Yeah. Ooh, you see a little Glint Eastwood in the tower?
Yeah.
Making sure. Oh, there's 2 of them.
That's a lot of them.
There's headlights up there. Like, no, thank you. I am not taking that one. That is a dangerous angle.
And they are being very smart here, not taking this fight. And that's what we talk about, the good teams. They're going to know when to fight and when not to, and don't even bother peeking. They're 2 snipers. They can get you down and out in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's my
Quick 1-2, gonna break armor and take out your health. By the time that's done, the other one's already got the bolt action. Second shot coming through, and you're dead.
Yeah, that team shotting is just so brutal, and that's why you see them sticking together, and it's why they've been able to roll through so many of these teams. When you're able to turn as a team and shoot together, just your damage output, your DPS gets so high that other teams, they're not going to be able to withstand it.
This is smarter than popping another UAV. They realize this team of 2 has just rotated directly to this building right in front of them. Call out coming through. He's going to get tagged a little bit here on the side. Pre-fire coming around the corner. Not able to pick that one up. The deployable cover, though, is going to try to stop this advance, but it's not going to be enough. There's a player down already right here. He's going to go and pick this one up. But the call is going to come. The teammate on the rooftop probably knows that, hey, by the way, there's someone coming. But we'll see what direction he's going to go. He's going to take this.
Go to the building to left.
I mean, it's smart. Got to peek these angles, though. I mean, you have to. Police station, probably would not be surprised to see somebody in there because of the fact that there is going to be an ammo drop inside of that as well. Trevor May and teammates going to push into that building, while you have Matt Duffy and Brett Phillips in this one. But with gas coming in, those teammates is going to be forced out of that firehouse tower. So that is at least going to help them kind of eliminate that advantage that team had built up. And now they have advantage because they are virtually sitting in circle and they have high ground.
Someone's shooting to our left.
Yeah, and those rooftops can be so useful because the fact that even if you go down, it's very hard to get finished off. Your teammates are going to have chances to come get you, and also you get vantage points as that sniper shot's not going to land there for Brett.
Yo, we gotta move up somewhere.
You got a couple
But at least they know exactly where they're going to be.
Yeah, and you hear a call. They got to move up. They got to be at least a little bit closer. Kind of pushing the envelope here. He's making sure that he can stay inside of the zone while he's moving up to the rooftop. So he's always got that, but they do have to move again. They do have a live ping down. That's going to get 1 down at least. And they are going to get a kill onto that one, so that's another one picked up. There are only 2 other squads and 5 other players left alive, so they absolutely have numbers advantage through and through. And this is going to be
very important for them to get this. They're going to have to get this win here because they're not finishing another round in the next 15 minutes. This is their best chance for points.
I mean, they've already done really well on points, picking up a lot of kills here. They do have the 1 player in the building, which I imagine is just going to be alone. They do get 1 dropped and killed another. So there are only 4 other players between 2 teams. The solo player does drop. Trevor May getting dropped again, but being picked up. So 3 players now outside of this team, and that is probably the team that was in the firehouse, was on the high ground. You hear a couple sniper shots coming through. They are laying down fire. He got tagged once again. Teammate down.
Player full killed.
Matt Duffy going down. Precision airstrike coming in, so you at least got to be taking cover indoors here. But the problem with this is they're fighting from the low ground at this point. Now an even 3-on-3. So able to take advantage to putting down a lot of fire with these rockets as well. This is the last zone now. It's going to come all come down to this. He does get one down, but he gets dropped as well on the other side.
Yeah,
of
but he's got the self-revive. He's going to be using that now. Still got armor to get back. It's going to be his last round of armor, but if he can get it in the nick of time, he's going to be back to full strength for this fight.
Trevor May, he's done it. He's coming in. He's got the flank. He's got the attention drawn. Reload the gun. Armor broke. Down headshot. Team wipe.
There it
Brett
is.
Phillips picks up the dub. Trevor Phillips, who else other than the Trevor, the teammate Trevor, coming in to make sure they get that dub. That's clutch.
Team Brett having to feel good about that one. That is the first dub that we've been able to see on stream here in this tournament. And what a great play by Trevor. Such a good, such a good aggressive push, like you said. And yeah, that's looking like 33-point game. That's enough for the highest score that we've seen so far.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good little comeback. You know, they were sitting top 3 moving into this round, so they're feeling good about that one. Obviously, next one, that's the best they're gonna do, right? You can't top that, and only 13 minutes left. But you know, they're not the only team competing on this one, as your favorite Sith Lord is coming back.
Orleans Darklaw and company, and he's in a bad shape right now. They've got 3 teammates down in the 4th running away. Oh dear.
Well, good news is they got placement points. Bad news is they're all dead. So as soon as we show up, yeah, game over.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Not necessarily ideal, but at least they did get a couple placement points out of that round. Doesn't look like they had that many kills though. Only 4 from 3 of their players. And let's go now to our last feed going on right now. It's going to be Mitch once again. And wow, we are just cursed right now.
You got top 8 placement points, so that helps out of that. But I mean, what we saw from them earlier on, they did very well. At least 10, 15 kills plus whatever their 4th player had. That's one thing I despise about this UI. You have plenty of room. Please, for the love of God, put the 4th player up there. Why do you make me scroll to see the 4th player? Just put all 4 of them up there.
That's probably because of when. Remember, this game started as a 3-person game mode, so they probably just didn't have it coded in for the 4th person, and they just haven't fixed it.
The UI of this game is so buggy right now as well. Because like you'll back out and you'll look at the post game lobby report, and it's gonna be like people like completely different names, like no one that you've ever seen, you're not friends with, nothing. It's just a random name that pops up on the scoreboard, and it's like, what? Please, I know you guys make enough money to fix a UI for a post game lobby. You're killing me. You're killing me. This is me just griping though. That's all I'm gonna do. I always complain.
Well, let's look in now. Sal Gardino coming in once again for another drop here.
Yeah.
Only 11 minutes left, so this is kind of last call right now. Every team has pretty much finished what's going to be the last round they're going to be able to finish, but you could still pull off one heck of a performance and maybe pull out a 30-kill game in 11 minutes. What do you think?
Well, I mean, they are the team that was sitting on top of the leaderboard coming into this round, so certainly the team with a target on their back, but I mean, that's asking a lot and not a lot of time. I mean, if you're already halfway through the game, maybe, if you're already onto the 2nd or 3rd zone, maybe you could pull up 30 kills in 11 minutes, but immediately on the drop, 5, maybe 10, if you're lucky. It's rough.
Yeah, but it's just a chance for us to watch again. Sal, one of the probably more accomplished Call of Duty players that we're going to see, in addition to, of course, being the catcher for the Atlanta Braves.
Right.
Man, could you imagine that being your that being your I suppose title, is the fact you're an accomplished Call of Duty player and also you're a Major League Ball player.
Right, yeah. Like Trevor May, you know, it's like, oh yeah, I play Call of Duty with Ninja, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, like in my free time. Also, I'm a professional baseball player. Like just minor details though. I mean, who's really keeping track? It's like,
I think what we're gonna have to see in the future though. Do you think that Brett Phillips is gonna brag about playing with Confused Caribou?
No, that's nothing to brag about. Oh, it's funny. Wouldn't it be nice? But yeah, that's nothing. I'm certainly I'm out of practice like you. I kind of play a little bit of everything. I like to mix it up. I got variety.
I've been getting a little bit addicted to Warzone lately though, but
it is good.
I haven't been able to find my way to my first dub, and frankly, I blame my teammates.
It's always your teammates' fault. Yeah.
Well, when you're consistently the last person alive and you're looking at the kills, you're looking at the scoreboard afterwards and you're seeing, hey, why do I have 10 kills and you guys combined for 3? You're not really, pulling your weight here. I need to go for a chiropractic treatment after every game. That's not
You're
good.
you're also probably the teammate that gets 10 kills with like 400 damage, and everyone else in your team has like 2,000. So you're just like taking the last shots.
Sniping.
Like, oh, mine, mine, dibs. Like, come on, these are my kills, man. No, I haven't played enough recently to really get into this. I haven't played in probably a week or 2. I'd love to get back into it though. Oh, I do love this. Warzone's so much fun.
You can't state enough how good of a job Infinity Ward has done in this game mode, which remember wasn't even available at release for the game. They kept this a secret, which was also brilliant by them, because it just gave the game even more life, because it feels like with everything that they've done for their release, it's when you start getting to that point where, you know what, I might go play something else. I think I'm getting, what I've been doing is getting kind of stale. They drop something new to keep you interested and keep you going, and Warzone was the biggest of those drops. And it has a staying power to it that Blackout just didn't have. Of course, the Black Ops Battle Royale mode. It was a well thought out idea, but they put so much into Warzone to make it the addicting and fun experience that it's been for everybody. And I think that's the reason that we've just seen it really take over the streaming world by storm in a way that Blackout just didn't quite have that same cultural grab.
Yeah, and they did so well with like everything they've done. And, we've had bits and pieces of this conversation before in the sense of they're just kind of like drip feeding us into actual content that just keeps us all around on Call of Duty. As it looks like Sal's and his team's going to find their first engage here as this game is starting to tick down, timer down to 7 minutes and some change. But like you said, they added in Warzone well after release. I mean, about halfway through its quote-unquote life cycle that you see for an annual release of a game. And that just brought so many people back into this. Okay, now they have this awesome Battle Royale that not only does it incorporate into all of Call of Duty, but it's like every multiplayer map and the Spec Ops missions. Like all the Spec Ops missions maps are here as well. And then you add in, some of the OG Modern Warfare maps with the DLC. And then you add in Modern Warfare 2 Remastered coming in, and you got to think, okay, well, they're probably going to bring Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer into the game somehow, like maybe a couple maps or something, but there's so much that they have that they can do, and they're doing so well with this life of this game.
Great time for them, of course, when everybody is home like this, really just kind of stuck on the couch for a lack of better terms. And you got, hopefully you have a little more time to play, and also, of course, if you have a little more time to play, maybe you have some time to donate to the NFL Alumni COVID-19 Relief Fund. They're just about at $20,000 of the targeted $100,000 goal, so 20% of the way there. Again, please, you can go to support.nflalumni.org and then go from there to help to help them out. Go to @NFLAlumni on Twitter. And once again, thank you so much to them for putting on this great event for us here, bringing all of these celebrities here together for this Warzone tournament.
Yeah, it's really cool that both the NFL Alumni Association and ESTVs kind of partnered up for this one to raise money for a good cause, right? And then you bring all these high-profile celebrities and athletes and stuff. It's such a cool event to be able to put stuff like this on, and just across the entire esports world in general. Like, there's just so many events happening with athletes and with personalities that are just drawing in all of this funding for a good cause. And just to see it stacking up and charity just donating just time, like all the money going in, it's incredible. It's really cool to see in this really weird time.
And speaking of really cool to see, Trevor, you've got a pretty snazzy headset there on there right now, don't you?
Ooh. Yeah, I do. These JBL Quantum 800s, they're so comfortable, and they're wired. Like, I can walk around.
You're free right now. You are untethered as a man.
I could go to my kitchen and make dinner right now if I want to, but I don't have to, because I get just to watch this awesome event. But it's really cool to have this, and they're super comfortable, and it's super easy to set up. It has its own little software that just pretty much runs you through. And I'm not one for reading directions, but I got this headset set up, good to go, in like 5 minutes by myself.
And judging by your head movements there, I'm seeing you're lighting up.
Yeah, these are the little RGB, which in the software itself, you can customize the colors that both the logo and the ring around it. It's like there's different patterns and different ways that you can make it happen. You get to pick your color that you want, and there's like a 5-color cycle that you can alter it to. I've got them offset by 1, so each time it goes, it's like the one on the ring then goes to the one in the center. And it's like set in that cycle. It's really cool. You can customize it and add it to that effect. Plus, I mean, they're Bluetooth, so you can use them for your wireless devices, for your phone. For you want to use it for your PlayStation, your Xbox, your PC, don't matter. There's also a USB cord itself to plug in to charge. It's up to like 14 hours of music play that you can use with it, and it's like an hour and a half, 2-hour charge time. They're super awesome. I love these things. They're so nice.
That is awesome. I am looking forward to breaking mine open and just I can't wait to play with those on. How's the surround sound?
It's phenomenal. It's so good. Like I can't hear it. Like I'm really concerned that I'm talking too loud or that like something is going on outside that I have no idea what's happening because the noise canceling and it's just the sound is so clear. Like I don't have to worry about anything at all. Like I feel like I'm talking too quiet, but I know I'm talking loud enough. I love it. They're so nice. This headset's so cool.
And just repeat that one more time. Noise canceling too? Like active noise cancellation?
Yep. Active noise canceling.
Wow.
It's awesome.
That is highfalutin.
These are well worth their value. And in case you get confused, there's an L and an R on the inside. So it's just, that's the best feature. So I know which side's which.
That can be especially helpful for you with your Kansas education.
Team just landed.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Hold on. That's where I'll draw the line. Too far, sir. Too far. No, this is a great headset, and shout out to JBL for sponsoring this and helping us out with this one, as you saw, as we've heard in the ad reels. That I mean, all of our wonderful sponsors to help put this event on for this charity. It's so cool that we've all of these people have paired together to put on an event like this.
And once again, to go and help out with the COVID-19 Relief Fund, you can go to @NFL Alumni on Twitter, and from there it is easy to be taken right where you need to go. Also, support.nflalumni.org. You can go and donate today. Every little bit does help. When your teammate falls, you help them get back up. And really, as a nation and as a world right now, that is what we are doing, trying to get back and trying to get everybody back on their feet. Again, every dollar helps. Support.nflalumni.org, @NFL Alumni on Twitter.
Yep, and we're inching closer and closer every day. We're getting that much closer back to normal, but for the time being, we're just making the best of what we can while we can. And what better way to do it than getting esports? And like all things considered, it's really cool to see that esports has thrived in a time like this and really helped bring a lot more into light. Let people still do good things while being able to fill their time, keeping the social distancing and staying indoors and staying home. It's really cool of everything that's happening in the world of esports alone. And I'm excited to see as it progresses after quarantine is all said and done, what esports is going to do in the world, because this is like the opportunity that esports has been waiting for. Albeit it's a weird opportunity, but it's really cool to see it coming into light.
As we tick down to the last minute here, also important to mention, we will be back next week and the following weeks for more exciting tournaments. More celebrities are going to join us from different organizations. Stay tuned and tune in to ESTV for the broadcast. Esports TV.
Yeah, it's really cool that we're able to continue to do this. I mean, there's so many, like Facebook Gaming's doing some really cool stuff. Twitch Rivals is doing cool stuff. There's so many, like I mentioned, there's so many people doing these types of things where they're raising money for this relief of quarantine, and just being able to do this weekly in and out. It's awesome to be able to get all these people together.
We're going to see here Sal, the last man standing for his team right now, and only 30 seconds left in it. And that's really, we're coming down to the tail end of things here. Going to be interesting to see how the scores shake out in the end, because we saw a couple good performances. Of course, our friend Brett Phillips, his team, had a really great performance grabbing that dub.
Yeah, I mean, 23 kills and the win. I mean, you're sitting pretty good. They were down, I think, 5 or 6 points that they were going into this round, so we'll see where the scoreboard is going to come out after this one. Obviously, the win's a win. It's all for bragging rights at this point, but it's a great great time event as round 2 does draw to the close. They did get down to the top 21 squads outside of their own, but like you said, Sal being the last one left alive in his team, and at this point, it's only going to be the kills that do count for what they've got. But it's just a decent setup that they've got so far. They come into this round in the lead, and I'm excited to see how it all shakes out.
I'm looking forward to it too. Going to be exciting when we tabulate all of the scores up. South seemed like the dark horse coming in. His team really looked the part, and they, of course, were the leaders in the clubhouse after the first round. But especially that round that we saw from Brett Phillips, 33 points, which was better than Sal's first round, of course. Going to be curious to see if that's enough to bring them over the top. But any way that it goes, it has been a ton of fun here today, watching all of these different players come together for this great cause. Once again, you can go to @NFL Alumni on Twitter, support.nflalumni.org, and go and donate and help in the NFL Alumni COVID-19 Relief Fund.
Yeah, and shout out both to NFL Alumni and ESTV again for getting this set up, getting all these esports personalities and these athletes coming in to help out with this event. And I'm excited for what else you said. I mean, as you mentioned it, this isn't the only one. There's going to be a lot more coming. So I'm excited as this progresses for Esports TV and everything. But, I mean, a great time that we've had in this one out of round 2. Good performances. And like you said, ready to see where these scoreboards are going to shake out.
And while we get those scoreboards tabulated, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back after this break. And we have another very special guest, an NFL legend, joining us after this. Stick around.
I can't change, I am here in my mode, but I'm a million different people from one day to the next. I can't change my mode, no, cause it's a bittersweet symphony, this life, cause it's a bittersweet symphony, this life, cause it's a
travail. Qui dit taf te dit les thunes. Qui dit argent dit dépenses. Et qui dit crédit dit créance. Qui dit dette te dit huissier. Et lui dit assis dans la merde. Et qui dit amour dit les gosses. Et dit toujours et dit divorce. Qui dit proche te dit deuil car les problèmes ne viennent pas seuls. Qui dit crise te dit monde. Et dit famine dit tiers-monde. Et qui dit fatigue dit réveil. Encore sur de la veille. Alors on sort pour oublier tous les problèmes. Alors on danse. 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 Alors
Trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through a job. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and since it is cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can't see clearly when you're gone. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in. I'm Thomas Viola, joined now by four-time Pro Bowler, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, thrower of one touchdown pass versus the Detroit Lions. I'm here with Amon Green. How are you doing? How are you feeling after the rounds?
Man, I feel good. I have put together a good squad. I put it out there, and I'm the head coach of Esports at Lakeland University. So in our Discord chat, I reached out to a few guys out there, put together a decent squad, and we ended up doing really good in the second round. We had a first place finish, which is 10 points. And then on top of that, we had 21 kills. So our 21 eliminations, I'll say. So that was a big bonus. First round, we did okay. We finished in the top 10, and we finished with 6 eliminations. So I'm excited. Hopefully third round, and we'll see where we place here in a little bit.
Now, explain this to me. How does one go from being an all-time NFL running back to coaching an esports team? I know that you just signed on with them in February. What's that been like?
It's been awesome. It's something that I say it was a work in progress because, I say 4 or 5 years ago, I had just, basically stepped my toe in. And then I started signing myself up for tournaments. Halo and Madden were my 2 favorite games. So I started to play in those tournaments, getting my butt kicked. But, you got to learn your way up. You got to, get beat up a little bit before you get on the top rankings. But as I did these events, like E3, like Comic-Con, like DreamHack, I brought my business cards with me and I handed it out to people. When I do an event, I say, hey, this is who I am. And most people knew who I was, but it was just still, you never know. But giving them that business card, because then that was bonus because then I get that reach back out. They'll follow back up with me. Hey, I saw you at E3 or I saw you at Comic-Con. Can we talk more? What are you doing? And I get that question. So just grew my network from there, tagging up with some big people. And I say one guy in particular, also a former player that helped me really get to where I say a big pivotal point, a person that was helped me get here was a guy by the name of Hate Basket, who works for games and works with other companies as well in the gaming industry. But connecting with him, knowing him from the football field as a player, never played against him directly because I was offense, he was on offense, but we were aware of each other. But then finally made that connection at an E3, and just that friendship was already there, but then the business relationship just grew. And I say following him and him teaching me some things about the industry in terms of the video games, so, the video game industry, but from the business side, what was a good thing and what are avenues, and talking to people, thinking, things of that nature. That was big tips. And I give him a big thank you every time I bring that up. He's like, man, then stop doing that. He said, it was you. I'm like, no, you helped out. So, and I like the team environment anyway. So doing this, knowing him and just all the people that I've met through esports has been awesome. Lucid Sound, I work with them now. That's why I got their headphones on. So Tim and Chris are a great bunch of guys. I had opportunity to meet Snoop Dogg through them because they put out a headphones through them. So just meeting these connections that through football, I made some great connections there. But even to do this in esports, it just puts a bigger smile on my face.
Now, do you often have guys that maybe are still or were in the NFL hitting you up now and asking you for advice on how they can break into esports?
Yeah, I've been getting that. I've been getting, I say Lamar, can't think of his last name, but defensive end linebacker. We crossed paths at a Microsoft event out in New York City about 3-4 years ago. And he's a gamer, but he, started hitting me up about, what can I do? Who you've been talking to, so, all the dots that I connected, I pretty much say, do this, kind of what I said, have a business card, hand it out, let people know that you're serious about gaming. If it's gaming to, developing your own team organization or Sappho, who actually owns a team in Rise Nation, he has a team there. So it's like, that's an avenue. If you want to do that, I myself, I saw the coaching aspect of it too. And then I can't forget, but on the business side of it too, where I got myself connected with a company called ESTV right there out of Los Angeles. And so that's a company that right now has been gathering a ton of distribution. And right now we're in a lot of places. We're on Samsung Plus TV. We soon going to be on YouTube TV when it comes out in the sports package. We'll be a part of the sports package with ESPN and Fox, and then it's ESTV, which is basically esports television. So broadcasting events like this, we have been doing that for over a year now, and we'll continue. And this is something, as this event will also be potentially broadcast on the network.
Now, what are some of your responsibilities as an esports coach? Is it like an NFL coach where you're kind of teaching these guys and going through game by game, or is it more of that managerial aspect because there are so many different games that they're playing?
It's more that managerial aspect. And for the games that I know, like the games I really know that I've played at a competitive level, I'll say is Madden and Halo. But Halo to all the FPSs, it's the same thing. It's just knowing call outs, it's knowing communication between players, and just knowing and working on your aim, having good aiming, and making sure you keep that KDA at a good high positive level for the FPSs, and then strategy. The team that I play with today, a few of the guys on the team are future Lakeland University players, and hearing their banter back and forth has basically showed me that this is a good pick that I got an opportunity to deal with here in the next 3 or 4 years in some of the players, because communication's on point. Strategy is talked about, while we're playing, and that's the part I love because it's teamwork and the stuff I've been a part of, as a football player. So to see that, grow in these athletes now, I get to help. I basically get to manage that along the way. So in terms of my job, I say details, it's recruiting. It's, like you said, managing the rosters, because I'm going to have more than one roster. I say the heavy roster that I have now is Call of Duty, but I'm going to have a Rocket League roster. I'm going to have a League of Legends roster. I'm going to have a Fortnite roster, a Smite roster, a Smash Brother roster. So I'm going to be managing 6 to 7 teams per fall and spring semester. That's how the leagues are going to run. So I got to be responsible, for all that. But so I can't do it by myself. So I have a few coaches that will be on staff as well. Call of Duty, Fortnite, League of Legends coaches that know the game a little bit more than I do, but I understand the team dynamic that has to be built so we can be successful together.
Aman, that is all awesome. It's especially fantastic to hear you making this transition, going into esports coaching. That's got to be a ton of fun. One question before I let you go here. Is the beard a quarantine beard, or were you working on it before?
I was working on it before. It has gotten a little thicker. I'm going for the full Wolverine, because Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
All the way up here, so I'm going for that too. So
the full Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, full Hugh Jackman right now.
You have the most impressive nerd cave that I've ever seen. I can tell you're a Batman fan. You got the shirt on. You've got Ben Affleck behind you. You got the sign. It has been fantastic talking with you, and thank you so much for playing and joining us today.
Like, I'm like thinking about different ways. So I've seen people in their Twitch setups, looking online, looking on Instagram, say, hashtag Twitch setup. I'm like, okay, or streaming setup. And I'm looking around trying to see what I'm going to build out. I'm like, oh, I need to do that. And then after a while, I started seeing people comment on what was behind me. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to do anything. I just got to turn on the camera.
Set.
I'm set. I was like, I was all thinking, I was blind to what I had but down here. And it just finally hit me about 2 years ago. Like, I'm good to go. So I just got to get good equipment. So did that.
That is fantastic. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your time. Everybody, don't go anywhere. We are going to be right back right after this. We'll be releasing the leaderboard. Aman, have a good one.
Hey, you too. Thanks for having me.
Sorry, just quickly. What if it's
The Esports Celebrity Challenge is officially sponsored by JBL. Step up your game with the Quantum 800 headset. HyperX, we're all gamers. Lucid Sound, engineered to win. And MetaThreads, your lifestyle gaming apparel partner. Welcome back, everybody. One final time, I'm Thomas Viola with Trevor McNeil here. Well, Trevor, we've seen some great rounds of gameplay, and we are getting ready to tabulate the final scores and see what's going to happen. What are some of your thoughts before we take one look at the leaderboard here?
It was a great event, right? I mean, it was a good time. We saw a lot of good Call of Duty gameplay coming out. Little surprising to see some of the skill levels that these players have. Obviously, they've been around the block a time or two. Know how to handle their own in the FPS, but I mean, like you said, it was just a great time. We have the leaderboard, we have the scores all formed up and ready to go. And as you can see, Mitch Garver and company, they come out with a huge win in that round, and that's enough to project them to the top of the leaderboard with 62 points. Our man Brett Phillips coming up in second with 56. Trevor May, I'm sure, is going to be disappointed that he had a couple of times that he went down a little too early. Tyler Jackson there in third with his team in 52 points. And then Sal coming out with 44 right there. As you see the rest of the leaderboard shaking out. Amon Green, 39. Shane Vereen, his brother, and their team at 35. Your favorite Sith Lord got 26 points coming up in 7th place. And Aaron Beasley and company in 8th with 16 points. So a good showing, good performance out of all those teams. But congratulations again to Mitch Garver and company for coming out with a huge round 2 to win this.
Yeah, that round 2, that is really what spelled it for them. We saw a great win. And just great performance all around. I completely agree with you there. And once again, thank you so much. NFL Alumni, Esports TV, teaming up with JBL, a great sponsor with your great headphones that you have on there. And if you want to go and help and donate for the COVID-19 relief fund from the NFL alumni, go to support.nflalumni.org. Go, find them on Twitter at NFL alumni. Guys, we've said it before, when your teammate falls, you help them get back up. And that is all of us right now. We are trying to make our way back, claw our way back, not only as a country, not only as a community, but as a global population. Every little bit that you can send helps. And we really appreciate you helping to donate here. The goal is to get $100,000 to help people in need right now. Trevor, it's a fantastic cause, and it's been a pleasure working with you here today.
Yeah, it's been a great event. I love this, what the NFL alumni and ESTV's put on today. And I'm excited for the future of this relationship as it progresses. Shout out again to all the sponsors and everyone helping out with this one. It's such a good time, and I'm ready for more.
I am too, and we will be back next week and the following weeks. We've got more exciting tournaments, more celebrities joining from different sports organizations. Stay tuned and tune into ESTV. We're going to be able to bring you some awesome content in the coming weeks. It's been 2 rounds of intense Call of Duty Warzone action. We had 32 players and 8 teams that competed, and in the end, Mitch, Garver, and crew, they walk away with first place. It's been a great day of gaming. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in to the Esports Celebrity Challenge presented by the NFL Alumni Association and ESTV, sponsored by JBL and produced by Allied Esports. Again, we'll be back next week with another amazing tournament, more celebrities, more organizations. For Trevor and myself, along with the entire behind-the-scenes crew, until next time, thanks for watching.
Show me peace.